This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good. Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh.
Good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where?
Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Brave lonely, got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Brave Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean in, feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Brave Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer.
Well, hello. You. Welcome in to another edition of Leavitt's Virtual Tour Live. We are live on tour. Sorry for being a little bit late, everybody. Shout out to the 4 people that were here, 2 people here now, y'all. We got a jam-packed show for y'all. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations for you all. As you guys know, there was another attempt on the president's life. We are going to talk about that. I'm going to give you everything I have up to the minute that I have it. So we have that for you. Kenya Moore, or as Nene Leaks will say, King Moore is across the street, King Moore is across the street, King Moore is across the street. Y'all know Kenya Moore got kicked out of her place, and you know what? Honestly, I'm not mad about it. What did Funky Naiva say about Kiki, which was tacky, rude, and unnecessary to say, but I will say it for Kenya Moore. I feel no ways tired about it. You tried to do Britt Edie wrong publicly, and the spot that you did her publicly in, you no longer have it. Ain't that a bitch? You never win when you play dirty, in the words of Nene Leaks once again. Then after that, we got Kamala Harris. She spoke in my home state of Arkansas. I'm very, very proud of my state. By the way, when we talked about this dinner, it was sold out. Okay, so shout out to my state for making it do what it do. We'll talk about what she said in my home state of Arkansas this morning. The airline industry, man, there's a lot going on with that industry. As you all know, we did a live stream where I talked about Southwest Airlines, thinking about adding first class seats. And also, too, they are investing in airport lounges, okay? And then, of course, JetBlue is in $1.3 billion worth of debt. Yeah, no. And then I'm trying to think who else did I have on that. Oh, yeah, Spirit, because y'all know Spirit could be dissolving at any time. Well, there's some other budget airlines that are looking for a bailout. I'll tell you more about that. Oprah Winfrey did a huge business move this morning. We'll get into that. And when I tell you, I think that there's a bigger play here, I'll tell you what that is here. Hilton Hotels. In all the years that Hilton has been around, they've never had a hotel or resort in Napa Valley until now. We'll get to that. Peacock. Man, Peacock lost a lot of money. How much? Wait till you hear the number. And then finally, y'all know that should be Netflix bros, but of course, David Ellison and Larry Ellison basically great Warner Brothers Discovery very aggressively. And that company, that combined company of Warner Brothers and Paramount now has $90 billion worth of debt. So, yeah. So we'll get to what's going on with Netflix and all of that. So, that being said, let's get to it because higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear the virtual tour music? Yes, you do. Because one thing to know and 2 things for sure that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Rolling.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Now this day. It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you're starting it out right. But whenever you're out in the daylight, and a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I say,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is a new morning. Julie Chen-Moonves and Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You are absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully all is well with each and every single one of you. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do because we have a lot to talk about and a whole lot to get through. So here we go with this right here. So, from Deadline.com, inside the ballroom as PAL fire was heard, Resident 47 was rushed away and was scrambled to report the story. Shout out to Georgia for I did see her video there. Catering staff at the Washington Hilton was just about to serve the main course, prime chateaubriand and Maine lobster, when 4 loud, quick howls could be heard. With 47 making his first appearance as president, the White House correspondent dinner this year looked to be a usual mix of comedy and controversy. Instead, became a surreal, disorienting moment as authorities investigated an armed man suspected to try to break through a security checkpoint. Sitting at a table near the cavernous ballroom main entrance doors, I at first thought the noise heard around 8:35 p.m. was a giant clash of dishes. But within a second or two, someone could be heard shouting, "Get down now." There is a video out there of a man still eating his salad as everybody else is freaking out. It's just very paradoxical, right? So most nearest got to the ground. My POV was of the slight turned over chairs, some attendees crying in fear, and Secret Service agents racing into the room for a few moments. My thought was that the agents were searching for a active mass power. Active mass power, rather. And yeah, I could still hear the dim of conversation in other parts of the room. And that span over the span of about 10 seconds, the noise that gave way to a tense silence broken by the shouts of agents and a yell of USA, USA. In about 2 minutes, attendees started to get back up again, and then it was that cameras came out. Those around me were in a daze. Some were still in tears, not knowing what happened, or full view of the dais. I saw that it was empty. It was still unclear whether the president was safe. As I approached the stage, some correspondents were recording video live streaming. ABC News Jonathan Carl standing on stage recording a vertical. CNN staff were huddled with CEO Mark Thompson. Craziness, man said. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. Okay. On TV, the moment looks surreal. The sea of attendees in ball gowns and tuxes huddling under tables. Also in the tense silence, save for the shouts of Secret Service agents rushing the president and then members of the cabinet from the room. Some attendees were in a daze, but most journalists seem to be reporting the story out. Not an easy task in a below-ground space notorious for its iffy Wi-Fi and cell service. Other administration figures like FBI Director Kash Patel were whisked away to an exit in the back of the ballroom, and journalists hunted for any first-hand accounts. An officer with Watkins Security, a private firm, was surrounded by reporters as he gaggled about what he knew about what happened, which he warned was not a whole lot. Rather, word spread first that the suspect was dead, and then that a suspect was taken into custody. Then an announcement was made that evening would continue, then that it was being postponed. After about an hour out of CBS News, Weijia Jiang, the White House Correspondents Association president, appeared on stage and gave a message from 47. He wanted to emphasize that no one was hurt. He and the First Lady of the cabinet, everybody was safe, she said, to applause. The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke, she said. She said, I said earlier that journalism is public service because when there's an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on night, we are thinking about the freedoms of the First Amendment. We also must think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do. As guests made their exit up the escalators into the main floor, many passed by with Blitzer, eyewitness to the power. He was on the phone still reporting what he saw. Later at the White House, Jane was now sitting in her spot in the briefing room as 47 took questions. Can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment? 47 responded, that's a good question. It's always shocking when something like this happens, before he, like so many others, recounted those moments of confusion. So that is the opening of our coverage here. Shout out Kenya Moore for Braylon's best life. We're going to get to Kenya Moore. She's literally the second destination. We got to get through this, though, because this right here is just so big, right? And I will just say this. excuse me, I would just say this. For one, the president appearing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was different, right? Because for him to hate the press that much, why would you even go, for one? Right? That's just odd to me. Number two, I'm thinking, right? You know, when you are making the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's usually all the correspondents from all the networks, cable networks, some independent journalists as well, right? You know, you have to have credentials in order to be invited, right? At least. But I'm also wondering too, like, did nobody see the guest list and that the power was not on the guest list? And also number three, how tight was security? So those are just my first thoughts on this, right? So let's see 9 comments here. 2-point security did its job. The power did not get close to the president or other officials. 47 actually thinks that attempts on his life corroborate what a great president he is. For the record, several so-so presidents had deletion attempts or successes, including Ford, McKinley, etc. These attempts or successes did not mean those presidents were great leaders. Perhaps Mr. 47 should face reality and understand people want to delete him because he's such a horrible poet and human being who only cares about himself. Now, I understand why that person was anonymous, because, you know, in today's day and age, everybody's being watched by Big Brother. There was even a person that I kind of know on Facebook that said, "How do you miss an opportunity to delete the president?" Which I'm just like, child, there's just some things you can't post. Okay, just took me back. I'm like, listen, I know that people don't like him, nobody wants them, and we can't wait to join 8. But my God, do you not know that ICE has deleted people in midday? Do you not know about, Sonia Massey and swatting and stuff? Like, y'all, you need to be careful of what you say out here. I'm just bugging. And these are not my comments. I'm reading the comments from deadline.com. Okay. Another anonymous person, the attempts made on 47's life and the rampant violence coming from the left prove what 47 says about the media is correct. So here's the thing, right? There's violence everywhere in the United States, right? I'm not saying violence is happening everywhere across the country right now, but violence is everywhere around the world in the country. So it coming from the left, that's just a lie, right? But the power was able to get into the venue with a how. Exactly. And that's why I'm wondering of how many metal detectors they were, because this was at the Washington Hilton, right? Now, usually they would have the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I believe, at the White House usually. So I'm kind of wondering why this year it was at a hotel. But because he bolted past security, which caught him rather quickly, it was reasonable to assume that future security will address this. That said, make all entrances to any event safe from people crashing through. It will be costly and truly slow down access for those attending, but it will be done absolutely. So this was a distraction from another distraction. That was a distraction from another distraction. Only a really bad president would need this many distractions to hide the fact that he totally sucks as president. You libs invented the distractions. Just reading the comments, everybody. You don't even understand what any of the words Fox teaches you mean. Oh my God. Rump has refined it to a fine point. It sounds like a false flag operation to distract from his complete failure in all things. We're supposed to believe that this guy can make it past a metal detector at an event the host is attending with 2 pals and a knife. 47 is right. His power comes from the stupid people. So those are all the comments from this first story right here. Okay. All right. Let's continue on from Deadline.com once again. 47 reveals shocking reaction to White House Correspondents' Dinner powing, a dangerous profession being POTUS, releases photo of nut job suspect. So here he is here. You know, I think that this is probably the first time that he's like taken the poem. I'm sure he's taken the poem before, but like, yeah, I bet you this was a very interesting night for everybody who's a journalist. Because my Lord Jesus, how do you get your mind around the fact that you are there to do your job and you could be taken out doing your job? That's just, I can't even wrap my brain around that. It's always shocking when something like this happens. 47 said tonight or last night about the powing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It was either a tray or a bullet. He said he heard before agents hustled him to safety. When you are impactful, they go after you. When you are not impactful, they leave you alone. Let's continue. POTUS said of the violent Saturday in previous deletion attempts against him over the years, it is a dangerous profession. Let's continue. I like to not think about it, 47 added, I'm not a basket case. In the words of Moore, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. But let's continue to that. As he indicated online earlier, 47 told the assembled, well-heeled media that he fought like hell to stay at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but Secret Service insisted he had to get back to the White House. At the same time all that went down, 47 did seem more on edge than usual tonight and more circumspect at the same time. Yet, as he often does, 47 went through a litany of his administration's initiatives and policies over the past year, as well as for the need for his pet project of a giant White House ballroom. That's not the only thing. Y'all, I'm not joking with y'all when I tell y'all this, okay? I'm just gonna show y'all. Now, this is real, okay? This is very, very, very real. So this is from the Independent, okay? 47 touts progress on his multi-million-dollar revamp of reflecting pool at Lincoln Memorial. I do many such things for the government. Wouldn't it be I do so many things for the government as president? It's my honor to do so. Okay, child. Everybody else elected for him. 47 wrote on Truth Social. President 47 has highlighted progress being made in his multi-million-dollar revamp of the reflecting pool in front of Lincoln Memorial, Washington, D.C. While en route to Florida, Friday afternoon, the president posted photos of workers coating the bottom of the 2,000-foot-long pool in a layer of bright blue paint, starting the final phase of renovation that was supposed to cost $301 million and take 3 years, and was instead done with the help of security of the interior of Doug Burm and his entire department. And a much better result, $2 million in 1 week. The same 9-year-old billionaire wrote on Truth Social. He posted a rendering of the entire pool refilled with water alongside the caption "Coming soon." So that's what he's up to. The reflective pool, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's get back to this. I can't do it. I can't. Praising law enforcement, 47 have released a photo of the man he later tonight called a lone wolf and a nut job before taking the poem in the briefing room Saturday. So that's him right there. We'll get to who he is a little bit later. I'm a 30-year-old man from California who was carrying a shot pal. Is in custody. Law enforcement says. Ex-Fox News host and current U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, said tonight that the defendant has been charged with 2 counts. Those felony charges involve using a firearm in a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. Wait, those were all the charges? He didn't get charged by trying to take out the president. Oh, okay then. Police are saying they believe the man was staying as a guest at the Washington Hilton, which is what allowed him to get into the heavily guarded hotel. Let me ask Google something. Is the location of the White House Correspondents' Dinner revealed to the public ever? Okay. So for decades, it's been there. Okay. All right. My bad. So it says here on Google, for decades, the dinner has been held at the Washington Hilton Hotel, Washington, D.C. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. While the dinner itself is a ticketed event for media members, politicians, and celebrities, hotel hosting it generally remains open to the public, and attendees are often seen in the lobby. Okay, so that's how that happened there. My God. Police are saying that they believe the man was staying as a guest at the Washington Hilton, which is what allowed him to get into the heavily guarded hotel. The administration also put out video. The administration also put out video of the man sprinting through the checkpoint. Okay, I knew that wasn't just me. The individual had a shot pal, a hand pal, several knives on his person. So here's a video. It's very grainy, but you can see right there. Saw a pal there.
Shall I post it as soon as you type done that?
Let's watch that 2 more times, y'all. There he is going.
Shall I post it as soon as you type done that?
And we'll play it one more time. One more time. So you saw that there. You know, for the president of the United States, you'd think he would get a better camera quality. Just saying. Let's continue on. Flanked by tuxedo-wearing Vice President J.D. Vance, FBI Director Kash Patel, Department of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen, and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Back at the White House, 47 started his remarks Saturday with an understatement of that was very unexpected. My God. Yes, it was unexpected. No one should expect to have their life ended. But the first thing I would have done as the president is like, hey, listen, I know that we're okay, but how are y'all doing? Like, oh my God. That's why we miss Obama so much, because he understood the role. Jesus. He had a long way to go. 47 added of the suspected pattern actually getting to him personally. He wasn't anywhere near to reach the doors of the ballroom. Wide shot of the ballroom as loud bangs are heard, and President 47 is evacuated from the White House Correspondents Association there. So here it is. So you heard that, right? You heard the power. See, everybody cleared out. Well, some people are still there, but whew, my Lord. Shout out to C-SPAN, by the way. I mean, I feel for all of them. I mean, Secret Service, the journalists, the staff, the crew of the Washington Hilton, even the cabinet. And I mean, as much as we don't care for the first family, I mean, they're still human beings. I mean, nobody should ever expect to just die. You know what I mean? And I'm saving my whole opinion on this because there's a pattern that's happening here, and I want to be able to just say it all to y'all. So that's why I'm giving y'all everything up to the minute, because there's something bigger going on here. I'm not about going to no conspiracy theory or anything like that. So please believe me, we don't do that over here. If we do any theories, okay, by the way, Pat, game park, not game park theory, but theme park theory should be a channel. Okay, just saying if you're looking for a new channel. But if we do any theories, it's based off of public available information and then tying it all together with connecting the dots, to make it make sense. And, that's the aftermath of everybody making it do what it do. I think the White House Correspondent Association president probably be up here in just a minute to let everybody know that it's time to move to the White House. But yeah, that was quite a lot there. Okay, let's continue here. Attending the White House Correspondent Dinner for the first time as POTUS, the incident in what for called a very secure room occurred just minutes after the Republican and First Lady arrived in the Washington Hilton ballroom. 47, Melania 47, and Vance and others was whisked off stage as guests dropped to hide under tables in the chaos. Still, how the suspect got so close to the ballroom that the president, vice president, speaker of the House, and many other top members of the line of succession in it remains a question. Individuals at the White House Correspondents' Dinner told Deadline the security around the hotel was intense, yet it seems that at least one individual thought to get through a metal detector, through metal detectors with a powerless person. CNN's with blitzers happened to be outside the ballroom with his pals being fired. Though the iconic anchor was quickly moved to a men's room by Secret Service, one protective vest wearing member of the agency was POW'd. 47 Saturday at the White House spoke of the injured agent. One officer was POW'd, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. 47 said he was POW'd from a very close distance with a very powerful POW. The vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He's in very high spirit. We told him we love him and respect him. In terms of our respect for the media, the very heart of the White House Correspondents' dinner, 47 was very generous to the White House Correspondents Association president, Weijia Yang, from the White House podium. However, 47 joked that he would have to give a boring White House Correspondents' Dinner speech now once the event is rescheduled in the next month. long antagonistic to the press. 47 has been directly attacking outlets, individual journalists legally through the power of his office for over the past year, and a mayor that had many questions up to today why he was invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner this year. In that vein, may anticipate a caustic approach from 47, and they were right that 47 admitted in tonight's post Powell presser. I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech I ever made. If I said so, I would have to save it. Post note, I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. 47 Saturday at the White House spoke of the injured agent. Okay, so hang on one second, y'all. I think they double spoke in this article. Yeah, they double spoke in this article. So you see right here and right here. Yeah, they double spoke in that article. Okay. So there is that there for you all. 14 comments. Let's continue on because we do have more. Okay, so from Deadline.com, once again, 47 lashes out at Norah O'Donnell for reading from the suspect's manifesto during 60 Minutes interview update. Update, 47 got angry with 60 Minutes Norah O'Donnell after she read a portion of the manifesto left by the suspect who stormed through a security checkpoint at the White House Correspondents Association dinner. During the sit-down taped on Sunday, O'Donnell asked the so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes administration officials that are targets. He also wrote, I am no longer, these are his words, I am no longer one to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that? Now, usually, we gotta cloak it and everything, but y'all see the words right there, and that is exactly what was in the manifesto. Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. O'Donnell asked 47 whether he thought the suspect was referring to him. 47, not a PDF file. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was so exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. Sir, the DOJ released a document that said that you were judging vulvas and the tightness of portals, okay, and that you were having intercourse with 13-year-old girls and you were forcing them to perform fellatio on you, okay? So let's not do that. You're the one that signed off for the Epstein files to be released, okay, or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview, and they'll probably, I'll read the manifesto, because he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things. 47 also called O'Donnell a disgrace and said she should not be reading the manifesto on the show. But go ahead, let's finish the interview. The president said, the suspect has been identified by multiple outlets as Cole Allen of Torrance, California, who's expected to face a series of federal charges on Monday. That is today, everybody. There were also a number of reports on the manifesto the suspect allegedly wrote before he attempted to charge with security. O'Donnell continued to ask 47 about the suspect's writings, knowing that he checked into the hotel and he said he had cased the place or surveyed the place, and he wrote, what the hell is the Secret Service doing? And he wrote this quote, I expect security cameras at every bend, but hotel rooms are agents every 10 feet. No detectives out the wazoo. What I got is nothing. He wrote, like, this level of incompetence is insane. 47 responded, well, he was pretty incompetent too because he got caught and he got pretty easily caught pretty easily. So I would say he's pretty incompetent too. I can take any of that having to do with security or anything else. I can always find fault. Those guys that did the job last night, they did a really good job. Earlier in the sit down, the president described the moments that pals were heard in the Washington Hilton ballroom. He and other top officials rushed out. O'Donnell referred to the video of the moment captured by Getty Images when first President I said President J.D. Vance. Oh, God, we don't need him as president. No. Vice President J.D. Vance. My God. If you don't know about the couch thing, J.D. Vance has a history. We don't need him as president. We really don't need 47 as president, but we really don't need J.D. Vance as president either. So, Vice President J.D. Vance is dragged from his seat by Secret Service agents, and then 47 is ushered away. O'Donnell asked for a 7. You see the security moving quickly within seconds, grabbed the vice president by his coat, lifted him up, and bring him out. And the counter assault comes in. It took 10 seconds for them to flank you, Mr. President. Then 20 seconds to get you out. It looked chaotic. At one point, you were down. What was happening? So here's Getty Images News. And here we go. There's the president. I don't know who that is. Beautiful dress, though, I will say. Let's watch that 2 more times. There's the vice president. There's the president. I said I don't know who that is, but then one more time. I will say they got in there very quickly. I will say that. I will say, you know, she got something on. Just imagine, like, you just trying to do a dinner, you got to crawl to get out because you don't know where the pals are coming from. 47 said, well, what happened is it was a little bit to me. I wanted to see what was happening. I wasn't making it that easy for him. I wanted to see what was going on. By that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of problem, a bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from a ballroom, which you hear all the time. And I was surrounded by great people, and I probably made them act a little bit more slowly. I said, wait a minute, let me see, wait a minute. O'Donnell then asked him about a moment in the video in which 47 looks to have gone down to the ground. What happened is then I started walking with him. I turned, I started walking. They said, please go down the floor. So I went down. First lady also went down. Also, we were asked to go down by the agents as I was walking. O'Donnell said they want you to almost crawl. 47 said pretty much I'm standing up. And then turned around the opposite direction and started pretty much walking out, pretty tall, a little bent over because, you know, I'm not looking to stand too tall, but I was walking out. It was pretty about halfway there. And they said, please go down to the floor. Please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor, and so did the First Lady. The interview taped at the White House Sunday will air on this evening's 60 Minutes. There's that there. Now, he said, in quote, that he's not a rapist, right? That's what he said. I'm just going to play this 3 times and then we're going to move on, okay?
Indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper.
Let's continue on. I do have the video of Norah O'Donnell speaking with the President of the United States. Here we go. just say this. After your wife makes that face, that will indicate to me whatever the hell is going on, I'm gone. I'm listening to Secret Service. I'm listening to the local police. I'm listening to the people that I need to listen to. You wanted to see what was going on, but yet your wife made that face. Let's continue on. Hey, two people, welcome in. We're talking about what happened with the president, his cabinet, rather. I was about to say his administration, but his cabinet, as part of his administration, and all of the journalists that were at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So I'll catch you up with everything that you need to know up to the minute that I have it. We still have Keno Moore on deck. We still have Kamala Harris on deck, the airline industry on deck, Oprah Winfrey on deck, Hilton Hotels on deck, Peacock from NBC on deck, and Netflix as well. So a lot more show to go, a lot more stream to come, a lot more tour to come. Let's continue. I'm at a loss for words because it's like, yeah, it was her first time being close to being deleted. Like, no! Like, yeah, it was my wife's first time and she was terrified. And I was terrified for my wife because I didn't want my wife to die. God. Okay. I so feel for Nora O'Donnell. I really do. Like, that question was a very important question because I would believe that after that, hey, you know what? Listen, life is too short, y'all. Maybe I've been too mean to y'all. I know I only got 2 years left of being president. Let's call it a wash. I'm gonna quit attacking y'all. Y'all just doing y'all job and let's try to be better. Like, that would be the thing. But in this moment, after his wife, which honestly, it doesn't seem like he really loves Melania at that point. Not that she deserves any defending, but like the fact that his wife was more coherent than him, mind-boggling. But to take this potential tragedy and say that the president and the Democrats are the same to make a political football talking point after you almost got deleted for the fourth mother-ucking time is crazy work to me. Let's continue on. See? And that goes to show why Nora O'Donnell asked the question that she did, what's your relationship with the press? And like, bruh, that was the manifesto. You said that you read the manifesto. So Nora O'Donnell is not calling you that. This is almost like the George Stephanopoulos situation where he asked, how can you, represent, defend, and, connect yourself to a person that didn't get charged guilty with rape, but the allegations of rape was substantially true, according to a U.S. federal judge. And then the president sued ABC News, even though ABC News should not have had to give any money to the president. You and your wife and your cabinet almost died, and you're upset at a manifesto that Nora O'Donnell is reading. That's a fact. From the person that almost took you out. Let's continue.
Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. Indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that Eugene Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that Eugene Carroll said that she loved being sexually.
Cooper indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that Eugene Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper.
Let's continue on.
Oh, you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person.
By the way,
I got associated
documents did say that you were having intercourse with 13-year-old girls, judging their vulvas and the tightness of their vaginas, and you forced one of them to perform fellatio on you. Not to mention, too, you and Jeffrey Epstein had a young lady in your casino, in the Taj Mahal Casino in New Jersey. And somebody made a report of you cannot have a young lady walking around with you and Epstein on the floor, along with many other things. Let's continue. Nora O'Donnell has a resume that he will never have. He can't, he won't, he never will have. And for Nora O'Donnell to stay laser focused on the assignment, well done to you. Because as I always say, there's yourself and there's your damn self. To say to a journalist that they are disgraceful for reading factual information that you read already is sick, disgusting, and it's just tattered behavior. She did not call you a PDF file and a rapist and everything else. She did not call you that. She read from a manifesto that you said you read. Just saying. Let's continue on. Shout out to the 4 people here now. Glad to have you here. or watching the 60 Minutes interview, I'm pausing it to give commentary to transfer the content there. This is under the Copyright Act 1976 and everything in between. And we do have more Bring This Virtual Tour Live coming up in just a little bit. Let's continue on. My God, bro. Okay. So obviously that event did not impact him at all. The fact that he, his wife, his cabinet, people in the press almost got deleted. This did not impact him at all.
You go back 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. It's always been there. People are...
What? Go back 500 years? Dude, you're the president of the United States. I would have thought by now you would go, all right, guys, look, obviously, Second Amendment is very important to our people, but I don't want to get shot. I don't want my family to get shot. So we're going to do power reform. Like, I would think by now that after 4 attempts upon your life, you would do power reform to save yourself, if not for the country. Child.
perimeter.
Now, wait a minute. Hang on a second. You just told Nora O'Donnell, I don't want to embarrass your show. If I was a king, I would be dealing with you. You're disgraceful. But let's go back. I just want y'all to hear that 2 more times real quick.
Association very much appreciates you going last night and honoring a commitment to do it
I
again.
hope we're going to do it again. Nora, tell him to get it going, and we should.
I'm going to just play it 2 more times.
It's you going last night and honoring a commitment to do it
I
again.
hope we're going to do it again. Nora, tell him to get it going. And
1 more time. And Nora, the fact that you were so loving, kind, and gracious to thank him for understanding the magnitude of the assignment, even though he completely disrespected you. It's crazy that a woman is running CBS News and will not handle the president as disrespectfully as he needs to. Like, hey, that is my colleague, that is my employee, that is one of our own. If you can't respect her, you're not respecting me. That's what a real president of a news organization handles a fucking president. But 1 more time, let's play it 1 more time. After all the disrespect, 1 more time. This is what he says to Nora O'Donnell. He said, I'm very busy. I don't need it. If you did need it, why the fuck did your ass come to this one? Okay. Child, Nora O'Donnell's better than me. Child. Okay, so here's what we know about the White House Correspondents' Dinner suspect. Okay, here we go. So, Cole Thomas Allen, this is from CBS News. Cole Thomas Allen, the suspected cowman who tried to attack the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night and left behind what officials are calling a red manifesto, in which he clearly stated that he wanted to target officials in the 47th administration. A senior U.S. official told CBS News the president and First Lady Melania 47 were safely evacuated from the dinner. None of the attendees were seriously injured, authorities said. A Secret Service officer was struck at least by 1 round believed to have been fired by the tower. But the agent was protected by a bulletproof vest and is expected to be okay, officials said. Suspect was apprehended at the scene. Allen, 31, was an educator from Torrance, California, with an engineering degree from Seton University. He is set to be arraigned today, Monday, in federal court in Washington, D.C. Authorities found anti-47, anti-Christian rhetoric on the suspect's social media accounts. The senior official said, acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said on Face the Nation with Mark Brennan Sunday morning that investigators believe he was targeting members of the 47th administration. The FBI is conducting a criminal investigation, and the Secret Service is investigating the suspect's background to shed light on what participated in the powering. So far, what we know so far about the powering, a total of at least 5 to 8 POW shots were fired during the incident, 2 law enforcement sources told CBS News. In a late-night news conference, Jeff Carroll, interim chief of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, said the suspect was armed with a shot POW, a hand POW, multiple knives. He attempted to charge a security checkpoint inside the dinner at the Washington Hilton Hotel. President 47 posted a photo to social media showing the shirtless suspect on the floor of the hotel with his arms tied behind his back after being detained. So there he is there. The suspect was not struck by POW fire, but was taken to a hospital for evaluation. He said the suspect was a guest at the hotel. Law enforcement sources told CBS News he checked in on Friday, the day before the event. He had traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago. Okay, let's see something. From Los Angeles to Chicago. Y'all, the Amtrak Southwest Chief travels daily between Los Angeles and Chicago, offering a roughly 43-hour, 2,265-mile scenic journey through the American West. The train passes through 8 states, showcasing mountains, deserts, and plains. Passengers can book coach seats or private rooms with amenities, including a cafe, sightseeing lounge, and Amtrak dinner options. So it took him 43 hours, Los Angeles to from Chicago, Los Angeles to Chicago, right? And then from Chicago to DC, right? So then we do Chicago to DC. Chicago to DC by train. So 17 and a half to 18 and a half hours. So 43 plus 17. 60 hours to get to Washington, D.C. The suspect was seen leaving his 10th floor room inside the hotel dressed in black and carrying a shot pal, a hand pal, and several knives in a black bag, according to hotel surveillance footage reviewed by senior law enforcement officials. He used the interior stairwell to bypass heavily monitored areas of the hotel. Senior law enforcement officials told CBS News and exited onto the same level as the foyer, leading to the dinner's dinner's red carpet that was just yards from the access point to the ballroom where the dinner was taking place. Secret Service uniformed division officers confronted and tackled the suspect moments later. Law enforcement sources said investigators have retrieved the suspect's cell phone and digital electronics and are now obtaining search warrants for them. The sources said he is not cooperating, but that people who knew him are speaking with investigators. Investigators are reviewing the suspect's writings as a part of the ongoing investigation into his motive for the attack. 3 federal law enforcement officials told CBS News the materials were written on paper and were found in the hotel. Officials said Allen sent some of his writings to members of his family before the attempted attack on Saturday. One of them alerted police about the writings. A senior U.S. official told CBS News the writings sent to family members apparently did not specifically mentioned the White House correspondent's dinner. At this point, it does appear he is alone. After alone, Palman Carroll said Saturday night, adding that the investigation is ongoing. Mr. 47 also told reporters in a separate news conference at the White House that it was believed that the suspect was a lone wolf. The president is standing by the Secret Service in the wake of Saturday's attack, praising the agents for their response while ordering a review of security procedures. A senior White House official told CBS News White House Chief of Staff Susan Wiles will also hold a meeting this week with senior administration officials, Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security to assess protocols for major presidential events. Mr. 47 is due to make several upcoming high-profile appearances. We know about the suspect's background. Allen, who was seen on surveillance video charging through metal detectors outside the ballroom where the dinner was taking place, had a record of firearm ownership. He purchased the shot pal used Saturday's piling in August 2025, according to 2 law enforcement sources. He also owned another semi-automatic pistol purchased in 2023. The suspect had lived at multiple residences in the Los Angeles area from November 2010 to March 2016, according to the sources. He spent most of those years in Torrance, but he also had an address in the city of San Gabriel between 2018 and late 2019. Allen earned a degree in mechanical engineering at Caltech, the California Institute of Technology, in 2017, before going on to receive a master's in computer science at California State University. And yes, he is a black man, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so listen. California State University, Dominguez Hills in 2025, sources said. Caltech confirmed to CBS News in an email that Allen graduated from the university in 2017, being tagged a professor from the computer science, a professor in the computer science department, at Cal State. Said I was an exemplary student. He was a very good student indeed, always staying in the front row of my class, paying attention, frequently emailing me with coursework questions, soft-spoken, polite, a very good fellow. I'm very shocked to see the news, Tang told CBS News. LinkedIn profile linked to the suspect identifies Allen as a self-employed video game developer and part-time teacher. He worked for a tutoring firm in Torrance called C2 Education. 2 law enforcement sources told CBS News he received a Teacher of the Month award from the company in December 2024. It was unclear if he was still employed by the company. The Torrance Unified School District told CBS News that saying that Allen has never been an employee of their district. Asian American Civic Trust President Dylan Wakamena, sorry if I butchered that name, said in a statement that some of the organization's volunteers have previously been toured by Allen as recently as April 14th through C2 Education in their personal capacity, independent of our organization. Wakamyama said the students described Allen as entirely normal and friendly in their interactions, and that they expressed profound shock when they heard he was a suspect in the attack. We wish to be clear that our knowledge of Mr. Allen is strictly limited to this account. Wakamyama said we are not in a position to offer additional insight, and any claims beyond the above characterization represent conjecture we are unable to support. Another family member who was interviewed by investigators after the attack said Allen made radical statements that he constantly referenced a plan to do something to fix the issues with today's world. Family members told investigators Allen would regularly go to the pounding range to train with his firearms. They said he was also part of a group called the Wide Awakens and attended a No Kings protest in California. According to federal campaign finance funds, Allen donated $25 to Democrat Party PAC AppBlue for Kamala Harris presidential campaign in 2024. CBS News has obtained a copy of Allen's driver's license photo, which was taken October 2024. Federal and local authorities were also seen late Saturday at the suspect's home in Torrance, California, at about 10:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Aerial footage from CBS News Los Angeles show federal agents entering the home. So there they are there. What charges will Cole Allen face? Allen will be charged with one count of each using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer during using a dangerous weapon. U.S. Attorney for D.C. Janine Pirro announced Saturday night. Pirro said she expects him to face more charges as the investigation unfolds. It is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could, Pirro said. Blanche said whether the suspect faces additional charges will depend on what investigators find as they continue gathering evidence, especially as it pertains to his possible motive. There's a lot of federal charges that can be in play beyond those two charges, but it depends on us understanding his motive, his intent, and his premeditation of what led him deciding that he was going to do what he did, Blanche said on Face the Nation Market Brennan. Pirro said Al will be arraigned on Monday in federal court, and Blanche said he expects an indictment to follow. So, shut up, Mish. Listen, I am reporting this as much as I can, okay, from a, oh my God, just from a standpoint of, and I know why you're feeling that way, right? Because it was a black person, right? And all the other people have been white. So I do believe that's probably why you're laughing. In the same token, to be in a room where your life could be over like that because you don't know what the mental is of somebody else, that shit ain't funny. Okay, so just want to just get that cleared up completely. That's why I'm spending as much time on this. And we will probably take a commercial break right after this, just kind of breathe. Okay, so just because this is a lot. Okay, so to give you some updates from CNN right here, suspect and White House correspondent Darren Powell expect to appear in court. So here's the latest court arraignment. Cole Thomas Allen, identified by sources as the suspect in a Powell incident at the White House correspondence there in Washington, D.C., is expected to appear in federal court today. Investigators are examining a message alleged to be from 31-year-old 47's response. President 47 said in an interview with 60 Minutes, good damn, can you mention the damn source CNN? You do journalism, don't you? He wasn't worried there will be injuries after the sound of POW fire rang out, detailing how he and First Lady Melania 47 realized the seriousness of the situation. I would say that Melania 47 realized the seriousness of the situation before you, because your face was just like, what's going on? I heard some noise. Is everyone all right? Like, that was you. Security review. Meanwhile, the White House operations team, U.S. Secret Service, and leaders at the Department of Homeland Security will convene this week to discuss security protocol for major events involving 47. A senior White House official told CNN, we're going to learn from this one. FBI Director Cash Patel also told Fox News this morning. So after the other 3 attempts, y'all didn't tying up nothing? Just, okay. All right. Okay. So right here, less than a minute ago, investigators reviewing a note alleged to have been sent by a suspect. Authorities are going through a message sent by a suspected powman involved in Saturday's White House correspondence dinner attack, seeking to understand what allegedly led him from a life as a respected California teacher to a would-be deletion or asset. Let me start by apologizing to everyone's trust I abused. Reads a note that authorities said was sent by suspect Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old from Torrance, California, who worked part-time as a teacher and also developed video games according to public records. In the note Allen allegedly sent to family members before the attack, he called himself the friendly federal asset. He said he intended to target the Force administration officials and vent to political anger, adding, "I don't expect forgiveness." Investigators are reviewing the statement Allen allegedly sent in his social media history, which President 47 has described as anti-Christian. Speaking to family members and seeking to learn more about what drove him to allegedly carry out the attack. The note laid out several grievances in broad terms that could point authorities toward a motive, including anger towards conditions in detention camps and referring to 47 as a traitor. Allen had a tendency to make radical statements as he became involved with left-wing activism in Los Angeles, acquired firearms, and began regularly practicing at firing range. His sister told law enforcement, according to the White House. Preservationists reject DOJ claim that suit over 47 ballroom puts his safety at risk. So that's the ballroom there. And by the way, this crane was on April 1st, right? So keep. And by the way, what's right here? Is this like a hotel? Like, can you imagine that? Like, you waking up, it's like, what the fuck is in front of my face, man? Lawyers for the historic preservation group suing President 47 over his plans to build a massive new White House ballroom told the Justice Department yesterday that he was incorrect and irresponsible for top officials to suggest litigation puts the president's life at risk. The National Trust for Historical Preservation, which has rebuffed a request from the department to drop the case in light of the powering at the White House correspondence dinner, told the department in a letter that claims made earlier Sunday by the potential impact of the litigation were meritless. The group emphasized that the case wasn't focused on whether there should be a new ballroom, but rather whether 47 could proceed without congressional approval. A federal judge agreed with the group last month and order construction stopped, but appeals court has paused that decision. Assistant Attorney General Brett Tremonti had to bet the trust drop its folly of a lawsuit that literally serves no purpose, arguing that the ballroom ensured presidents don't need to travel outside the White House to attend large gatherings like the one at the Washington Hilton on Saturday. Observers, however, have pointed to the White House correspondence there as a private event, and that a new ballroom changed that reality. I don't know about that, because I read on Google that the White House correspondence there is usually held at the Washington Hilton. So at least it'll be at the White House where there is security all over, right? So Shanati said that if the group did agree to end the litigation, that the department would ask federal court to dismiss the case, though that has not happened yet. And then finally, 42 minutes ago, Los Angeles County prosecutor described suspect family as good people. Los Angeles County prosecutor Paul Thompson, who told Los Angeles Times he lives next door to the family of Thomas Cole Allen. Wow. That's crazy work. The person that tried to delete the president, you live next door to the family of that person? That's just, wow. Described the suspect parents as good people in email. And Thompson specified that he was answering as a private citizen, not as a representative of my work. He's currently running for election to the Supreme Court. Los Angeles County has been endorsed by the county's Democrat Party. Prosecutors say he met Allen's parents when they moved into their home about 3 or 4 years ago. Basically, had no interactions with Allen, who had been identified by sources as a suspect in the powering at the White House correspondence dinner. He didn't make eye contact much when I saw him. I probably said hi to him once or twice. He wrote, I only saw him in passing, didn't notice changes in his behavior. He described the family as quiet. I didn't ever observe anything that stands out, he said. So a couple more things and we'll take a commercial break, right? So from Ride.com, we're about to die. Host Oz Perlman was right behind 47 when a power stormed the White House correspondents' dinner. At the exact moment, dozens of federal agents stormed into the ballroom in Washington. Hilton. Oz Perlman was revealed to 47 the name of Caroline Levitt's unborn daughter. The mentalist was perhaps moments away from climbing inside the mind of the president on Saturday night when a 31-year-old teacher from Los Angeles stormed the White House correspondents' dinner with two pals and fired at law enforcement. Nobody was killed, and suspect is in custody. My son was mostly concerned whether he had autographed Pokemon from 47. Perlman was riding from the back of an Uber moments after landing in New York from Washington, D.C. His usually peppy voice is hoarse, long night, he says. Before the annual bipartisan celebration began, Perlman met 47 First Lady backstage, where 47 expressed enthusiasm for his hat. This year's White House Correspondents' Dinner marked the first attended by 47 during either of his terms, and also the first to be headlined by a mentalist. He shook my hand and he told me he heard how great I am, that he's very excited and he's staying for my show. Perlman says that was a big check mark because that was never a sure thing. Right away, I texted my wife, great news, the show's going to be awesome. Out of the ballroom right after the Pledge of Allegiance kicked off the event, Perlman immediately began working the room. I didn't take one by his side. He said, I got to work. He eventually made his way up to the dais, impressing J.D. Vance with a couple of magic tricks. Perlman, who has become Hollywood's favorite mentalist, is known to guess people's ATM pins and predict the outcome of seemingly random events. Okay, listen. That's a little much to guess people's ATM pins, okay? I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. No. And I bet you people are like, well, could you tell that this was going to happen? Vance encouraged Perlman to perform for POTUS, and CBS anchor Winja Jane helped bring the mentalist into 47's conversation with Press Secretary Levitt and Melania 47. Backstage, Levitt had challenged Perlman to guess the name of her baby, who is due next week. Prayers that the baby is a-okay, y'all. Listen, I know we don't like them, okay, but the damn children are innocent, all right? Moving on. Wanting to say the trick to 47, Perlman finally began piecing together the name, and he is seen in news coverage right now. Libya on a sheet of notebook paper, just as Perlman ripped out the page showed Levitt, Melania, the president, and a crisis consumed the ballroom of the DC hotel. You could see everybody's reaction to the trick, and everybody was like, whoa. But at that same moment, we saw dozens of people with pals, a SWAT team, and military running to the center of the room as people started getting under their tables. Perlman recalls he thought there was about to be an explosion, so he immediately dropped to the floor as two Secret Service agents shoved 47 to the ground. He lands right next to me. Perlman says of the president, we're looking eye to eye from a foot apart. I'm thinking, oh no, are we about to die? And that's when he heard the PAL shots. Perlman says 47 seemed startled that he was on the ground, but he was very aware. Yeah, I would say Melania was more aware, but moving on, I can't tell you if he was scared. Perlman says, I have to assume there was fear in all of us because it was a very serious situation. About 2 seconds later, the president was shuffled out the room. I was thinking, did he get palled? Everything slowed down. I couldn't figure out what happened. Perlman says he began army crawling toward the door backstage where he stood for several minutes protected by federal agents. There was no real communication. He says, we heard someone was dead, and then we heard there was a power. Then we heard that they were trying to see if there were any other powers. Backstage, everyone was crying and shaking. Perlman says your body gets flooded with adrenaline. You're in full flight, still the power. Didn't stop the mentalist and his wife and his manager Lisa from attending an after party. It was very sweet. Perlman says in the evening, I'm sorry, after that, I ain't going to no damn after party. I am gone. Do you hear me? I am gone. It was very sweet, Perlman says, of the evening. The sweet thing is nothing really happened. Nobody was hurt. But the bitter part is that it was going to be amazing. I had some really unique, exceptional things planned that would have hit strong. I'm sad not to have had that moment. Given the circumstances, that's a very secondary concern. Perlman declined to tease the tricks he had planned for the president, as 47 had promised to attend a rescheduled White House Correspondents' Dinner to be set within the next 30 days. Although he just told Norah O'Donnell, I don't really need it. I'm too busy. Perlman says he has been invited back. If I can make myself available, I would love to be there. For now, Perlman is reading the insane internet conspiracies and laughing off the dark jokes of social media. If I had been killed, people would have forever said, why didn't you see that coming? I literally said that, you know. Who the hell? Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. If I had been killed, people would forever have said, "Why didn't you see that coming?" Promises like that's the worst way for a mentalist to die because the memes are just too good. First of all, to have the coherence to say because the memes are just too good, I'm sorry. Like, no, there ain't nothing we gotta talk about with that. Okay. Now, this next story, trigger warning, everybody. This is from Dana White. Okay. Just want y'all to read the headline before I get to it. Y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? Okay. UFC boss, Ultimate Fighting Championship boss. Dana White says the White House Correspondents' Dinner powering was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in. The dinner powering was fucking awesome. Let's just think about this. People who could have died was scared. But Dana White said, it was fucking awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you're living our dreams. What the heck? This dumb fuck right here thought the powing was awesome. Okay. All right. Let's just continue. UFC President and CEO Dana White recently told USA Today that he thought experiencing Saturday night's White House Correspondents' Dinner powing in person was fucking awesome. All of a sudden, started getting noisy. Tables started getting flipped over. Guys running it with pals, and they were screaming, "Get down!" White, who was in attendance at the dinner, recalled, "I did get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in." If I am the PR for Dana White, I'm cussing this white bastard out fully. Now, recognizing I can lose my job, I have to cuss him out with factual information. But still, people began to cussing and a lashing from me. It was a pretty crazy, unique experience. White says he was sitting right in front where the president, right in front where the president was when the Secret Service rushed in. He had nobody got tackled, but guys came in looking for the power, and then they came to our table. I thought the power was over by us or something. The 2026 White House Correspondents' Dinner, which took place in the ballroom of the Washington Hilton Hotel, was forced to wrap early after POW shots were heard from outside the event. President 47, First Lady Melania 47, and administration officials were quickly evacuated from the event as the power was tackled by law enforcement on a different floor of the venue. 47 held a press conference on Saturday in the aftermath of the powering, during which he promised to reschedule the White House Correspondents' Dinner within 30 days. We're going to do it again. 47 said, we're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. So this dumb fuck cares about dinner, but can't care about making sure that people don't have to be powed from ICE and that people don't have to be deported because they don't look like him. Really, this is the thing that's a line for him. Okay, all right. I just want to just say that. On Sunday morning, White House Correspondents Association president and CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang released the same social media. She wrote, "I know many of you are still processing what happened last night. Thank you to United States Secret Service and all the law enforcement agencies who kept us safe. We are so grateful to the members of the White House Correspondents Association. We will get through this together. We express our deepest gratitude to the U.S. Secret Service and all law enforcement personnel who assured the safety of everyone in the ballroom and beyond. Their actions protected thousands of guests, and we wish a full speed recovery to the officer who was injured in the line of duty. We are grateful. Everyone intends with harm, including the president, first lady, and the vice president." 47 is set to appear on 60 Minutes on Sunday night for an interview with CBS News' Norah O'Donnell about the powering. And then here is right here, 47 on 60 Minutes rails against some journalists and calls for holding a new White House correspondence dinner within 30 days. By the way, whenever you are like making an event, right, you can't just say, "Hey, look, Washington Hilton, can I have that ballroom again?" It's like, no. We gotta see if it's even booked. And not to mention too, because Washington D.C., the District of Columbia, is a huge media market, that hotel is always being booked up for events. So it's like, no, you just can't. Like I said, you can't go to Toys R Us. It's not like you can go to Toys R Us and choose any toy you want. That's not how that works. Let's continue. Hey, three people, almost about to end our almost 1 hour. It's been over an hour and some change recap of what has happened with the powing that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. President 47 was combative and conciliatory in equal terms during a 60 Minutes interview conducted Sunday by correspondent Norah O'Donnell at the White House in the wake of the powering on Saturday night near the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The president seemed eager to discuss the incident, which took place Saturday night, and stunned the nation and mainstream news outlets that he had dispatched dozens of their top journalists to take part in the evening. Cole Thomas Allen, 31, who hails from Torrance, California, allegedly tried to storm the annual event at the Washington Hilton in the nation's capital while wielding POWs. He was powed and detained by law enforcement, but the noise and chaos around his capture was on full display as federal agents and police removed President 47, Vice President Vance, and many dignitaries attending the event. "We live in a crazy world," 47 says, noting to O'Donnell that political violence has existed for decades. 47 told O'Donnell he wasn't making it easy for the Secret Service to try to remove him from the scene. "I wanted to see what was happening," he told O'Donnell, "to see what was going on. By that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, a different kind of problem, a bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from the ballroom, which you hear all the time. I was surrounded by great people, and I probably made them act a little more slowly. I said, wait a minute, let me see, wait a minute." Even though his wife had the face of, "Motherfucking white bastard, I'm getting out this bitch." Melania can't really go there like that because she doesn't have the capacity, capability, comprehension of the brain cells to tell him off. But, like, she was more awake than him. 47 grew visibly displeased with O'Donnell after she read a portion of a manifesto allegedly written by Cole. In the document, he says he's no longer willing to permit a PDF rapist and traitor to coat my hands for his crimes. Reference to various accusations leveled against 47 over the years, all of which he has denied. "You are horrible people, 47 said to O'Donnell, cast aspersion on journalists who seek to hold powerful officials to account. By the way, media is the fourth branch of the government. So there's the legislative, there's the judicial, there's the executive, and then there's media. You can look that up. That's a fact. Moving on. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. Once again,
indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper.
Back to the article, everybody. I didn't rape anybody. He told O'Donnell, you shouldn't be reading out 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace, but let's finish the interview. Despite taking issue with O'Donnell's journalism and suggesting most journalism outlets express liberal or progressive worldviews, he called for the White House correspondence dinner to take place for 30 days. 47, First Lady Melania 47, numerous cabinet officials were evacuated from the event on Saturday as the pattern was tackled by law enforcement on a different floor from the event. Officials said the suspect charged a security checkpoint. Shortly after, the president held a press conference and promised that dinner would be rescheduled. I felt like hell not to cancel the event. He said, he added, we're doing it again. We're not going to let anyone take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. He also took advantage of the moment to push his desire to construct a new ballroom at the White House. Some of the administration continued to press on Sunday. Later social media post, White House correspondent, president, and CBS Senior News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang wrote, I know many of you are still processing what happened last night. Thank you to the United States Secret Service and all the law enforcement agencies who kept us safe. We are so grateful to the members of the White House Correspondents Association. We will get through this together. We express our deepest gratitude to the U.S. Secret Service and all law enforcement personnel who ensured the safety of everyone in the ballroom and beyond. Their actions protected thousands of guests, and we wish a full and speedy recovery to the officer who was injured in the line of duty. We are grateful everyone in attendance was unharmed, including the president, first lady, and vice president. The 47 interview led 60 Minutes, pushing the report disastrous tourists to a future episode. Still airing a segment with former U.S. Senator Ben Sasse, Republican of Nebraska, who is now battling a terminal pancreatic cancer diagnosis. CBS Scott Pelley sat down with Sasse in an interview in Town Hall that was scheduled to be a part of 60 Minutes and also a special edition of Things That Matter. The extended version of that interview will be available on 60 Minutes Overtime with 60 Minutes Podcast and Things That Matter, which appear on Paramount Plus, CBS News, Central Platforms. Maria Golick is the producer of that package. I will just say this as we get ready to take a commercial break, child. After 4 attempts upon your life, I would step down as president. Now, this is bigger than getting our country back, okay? I'm looking at this from a human point of view. If 4 attempts has been on somebody's life, or 4 attempts have been on my life, y'all listen. I don't want my family. I don't want my friends. I don't want my kids, grandkids, whoever is important in my life. I don't want them to go through this. I would just step down at this point. For real. And the best analogy I could give this is, y'all know that big bass wheel that you see at Dave & Buster's and formerly a Playtime Pizza in Little Rock, Arkansas, and all the other arcades and stuff, where you pull it, and when it lands, it lands. Now, if you get that big $5,000, not $5,000, I wish that's how Big Bass will, but now it worked. I wish it worked like that. But if you get to the 5,000 ticket thing, right, is what it is. The first time you're not going to get it, but the more you do, you eventually get it. And it's been 4 attempts on his life. Y'all do realize it could actually happen one day, and it could be direct contact. Not wishing that, of course, but after 4 attempts, I would step down. And Dana White, you a dumb piece of shit bastard. Are you kidding me? Y'all, for him to say, y'all, we're about to go to break because I just cannot do this. For him to say, right, I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it. It was a pretty crazy, unique experience. Would it have been awesome? I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all didn't see that. My bad. Here it is here. For Dana White to say this right here. I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it. And it was a pretty crazy, unique experience. I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it, and it was pretty crazy and unique experience. I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it, and it was a pretty crazy and unique experience. Would it have been awesome if a bullet went through your chest and went to one of your arteries? Would it have been awesome if it would have went into your eye. Would have been awesome if it went through your head. Would have been awesome if it went through your neck. Bruh. Just, child, we're going to take a break because I can't. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, okay, everybody, Kenya Moore, Kamala Harris, airline industry, Oprah, Hilton, Peacock, and Netflix. So much more show to go, child. I need a mental break. Okay, so we're going to take a little commercial break, and we'll be back right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Pray lonely, got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Pray lonely's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Pray lonely's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power, to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free. Trust and believe it's entertainment, news done our way with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes somebody to be an artist.
Introducing the greatest escape in the Caribbean, the island you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Great Life on Great Stirrup Cay. This is the greatest pool you've ever seen life, 28,000 square feet of it, and the epic water park life. It's where you can truly experience the whoa life and the floating through paradise life. It's time to escape to a mind-blowing, sky-high tower of water slides and the Here We Go life. Escape to the one more please wherever you please life and kick it into high gear. Escape to where you can kick back and relax. The great life is waiting. Escape to the incredible new Great Stirrup Cay, only with Norwegian Cruise Line.
I'm loving it.
And I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Brayley's Virtual Tour Live. So I will do this right here. And right about here. All right, y'all, right there. So if you're looking for the rest of the content, right there, go with that timestamp, and the rest of the show starts right from the space right here, right now. Let's get to Kimola across the street. Everybody from me, takeout.com. Here we go. Kenya Moore kicked out of salon. Items left on the street to be stolen. Gone with the wind. Kenya Moore evicted from Atlanta hair spa, and her rival Britt E caught all on camera details. Media Takeout has the heart-wrenching footage. Who says it was heart-wrenching? Said no one ever. From the streets of Atlanta, or as we say, the ATL, it looks like the twirl has come to a screeching halt. Yeah, it looked like that house when it fell on the sister of Elphaba. Not saying that should have happened to Nessa Rose, okay, but she was a little power drunk, just like Kenya Moore is. But moving on, just yesterday morning, April 24, 2026, Kenya Moore's multi-million-dollar dream, rather, the Kenya Moore hair spa officially became a sidewalk sale after the reality star was evicted following a messy year-long legal bout with her landlord. A user captured Kenya Moore's hair spa equipment removed from the property. Source Blanco Unlimited, shout out to No Chaser TV. Been doing really good work, by the way. So there is everything that was in the hair spa. And by the way, Michelle ATLien deserves her damn credit, because Team Twirl was going after her unnecessarily too damn hard. I remember when it was the Confessions video, and I made it do what it do.
Hey girl, it's Candace, and you are watching No Chaser TV. Get yourself together and watch the TV, okay?
Shout out to Candace Dillon Bassett. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to Candace Dillon Bassett, everybody. So, with that being said, like I said, I remember when I did my Kenya Moore Confessions lives, and it started off with me seeing Kenya Moore on Facebook, posting it, deleting it. It looked like an AI picture. And then she said that she was going to upload her confessions. And then somehow the gods of YouTube said, Raylan Lee shall deliver the news to the people. And it was like over 300 people here. I mean, I read every single motherfucking comment. If you missed it, go back. It's there on the channel, right? And it came out, y'all. Well, for one, before that, nobody really knew what channel it was, because she already had a channel that all she had to do was just do that. But she had to make a whole new channel, allegedly, because it came to Life Twirls On, which was like a talk show format, kind of entertainment news recap, whatever the hell it was. So what happened was the video was not like a 30-minute, 40-minute video. Oh, no. This video was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Team Twirl was pissed off to high heaven. I've never seen a fan base more pissed off than that. And I remember Diana Rose's chat. Shout out to Diana Rose. This is nothing but love, grace, respect to her. But I remember some heifers in the chat saying, well, I'm still Team Twirl. I haven't heard from those heifers since. Because Kenya Moore was found to do Revenge P. She was found that her hair spa is no longer, and Kenya Moore saying, it's a new chapter, and bitch, stop it. Until you do right by people, ain't gonna be no beauty on your canvas. Lord Jesus. The place you did wrong to Britt Edie, you no longer have that place. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? That's just like be a bitch or a Mitch that you had a best friend that you and them were cool, and you know the totality of who they are, and you know they would never do anything wrong to you, do wrong to anybody else, or do wrong in general. But yet, because of a moment that happened, instead of standing up for their totality, when they've always stood up for your totality, you throw them away. You discard them, and you just don't want to remember them. And when the truth comes out, now the bitches and Mitches ain't got nothing to say. And now they've been one-trick ponies because they ain't got nothing else to talk about on their YouTube channels. So, and like I said, I ain't talking about you. Don't pick up that bullet, okay? Please don't. Please don't. Now, here's what's happening in the mind of Kenya Moore right now.
It's not just feeding the hungry only on Thanksgiving. It's an everyday situation. You know what I mean? This is 265 days a year.
265 days a year.
That is funny. 265 days. Where the hell that bitch live at?
It's not just...
Well, that bitch lives in Atlanta. Shout out to Nene Leakes, y'all. Furniture, salons, chairs, and boxes filled with hair products were sitting on the curb for hours. Eyewitnesses say the aisles were left unattended long enough for locals to start rummaging through the precious cargo before a U-Haul eventually tried to arrive to salvage what was left. Hey, listen, that could be the Kaleidoscope hair spa. Don't play with me. BB Judy, Jessica Dupar Harris, Kaleidoscope hair spa. That will be successful. Can you imagine like a miracle drop chandelier? Listen, I'm just saying that it was the place was cursed before, but now it can be blessed by a person who's an actual blessing to the people. Just keep it in the book, okay? So let's continue on. Media Takeout confirmed that thousands of dollars worth of items were taken by passerby without paying for the items. Woody Woodpecker. Under Georgia law, when a person is evicted, their property is placed on sidewalk and considered abandoned, making it fair game for anyone to take what they see. Child, I can only imagine. Hey, girl, you need me to save you some? Yeah, there ain't hair products because I'm running low. Yeah, girl, there's a bunch of hair products here. Hey, she got any? Oh yeah, she got blow dryers and hair dryers and everything else. Oh, she got any? What is it called? The oh my God, nail paints. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. She got any of those? Yeah, she got all those. Makeup. Oh yeah, I bet you they were a text chain that day. Nail polish. That's what I'm gonna say. Child. Listen, I'm just reporting the news. Don't get mad at me. Hell. The $88,000 legal battle. This isn't just a sudden move. This has been brewing since late 2024, according to court documents. Kenya Moore's company, More Vision Media, was bored by a Georgia judge in February to fork over nearly $88,000 in unpaid rent and utilities. The landlords claim Kenya allegedly stopped paying rent in December 2024, just 6 months after the grand opening. Kenya's defense, the former Rowa star, claimed that she withheld rent because the landlord failed to reimburse her for $80,000 in tenant improvement funds she spent rent to renovate the white box space into a luxury spa. From Jay's reality blog. Why do I feel like that sounds familiar? Anyway, shout out to Jay's reality blog. All Kenya Moore's equipment being removed from her salon via Blanco Unlimited on Instagram. I always hate when they do this shit. Give me a moment, y'all. All right, so there it is right there. And there they are moving that there. All right, so there you go there. You never win when you play dirty. Britt Eady pulls up. If losing her $300,000 investment wasn't enough, right? Kenya's arch nemesis Britt Eady was there to capture the downfall. Britt, whose explosive feud with Kenya led both women exiting the Real Housewives of Atlanta, posted a savage video to Instagram. In the clip, Britt is seen driving her luxury whip past his lawn while Kenya's belongings sat on the sidewalk. You never win when you play dirty. Britt captured the video, added a little extra salt to the wound after their infamous poster scandal last year. So here we go, y'all.
I do is lying out in the tropics.
I'm liking it. I'm saving it. Shout out to Brett Eady for the win, motherfuckers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, the motherfucking day. Kenya Moore's a more famous version of thirsty toxicity, damn it. And she's next. I mean, she, he, it. My bad. Let me be respectful to him, it, and he, its supporters. Let me be respectful, okay? Child, listen. Really? Child, we're live. Don't make no damn sense. Exactly right. You did what you did to Britt Eady. You expect that nothing to happen to you. You must be out your ever loving mind. Shout out to Britt. And it's the shocked face from me, child. Kenya breaks her silence. It's a new era. Not like you have a choice. Despite her belongings being literally out on the street, Kenya is keeping her head high. She released a statement Friday afternoon framing the eviction as a strategic exit. When you've been evicted, that wasn't strategic at all when you haven't paid your bills, but okay. I spent the last several weeks moving out of my salon as a result of my ongoing legal battle with my landlord, Kenya told TMZ. My only recourse was to withhold rent and file a counter. I've already had my outfit laid for court, child. The salon chapter is closing, but it's just the beginning of a new era. Stay tuned. How are you going to have a new era when you did Revenge P on national television? I'm just asking a question. The hair spa curse, the Kenya Moore hair spa had been played with issues since its inception. The ghost salon, local residents often complain the salon was actually never open, only took appointments for filming purposes. Administrative dissolution court service in early 2026, and the business had been administratively dissolved by the state. The financial loss between the $300,000 build out and the $88,000 judgment. Kenya's reportedly down nearly $500,000 on this venture. Is this the end of Kenya's entrepreneurial dreams, or will she twirl her way into a new location by the end of the year? Let us know in the comments. Fuck, now that's not it. It was taken by the state. So do you think that the state is going to allow her to open up any other business if she hasn't paid her bills? No. Child, listen, let's watch some Binge Worthy, okay? Binge Worthy. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to Binge Worthy. He's an amazing content creator, one of the best to do it. Here we go. Oh, Lordy.
Y'all, I've got some really, really sad news for Kenya Moore.
I was about to say.
Right now, authorities are at the Kenya Moore hair care location in Atlanta, where Kenya has been fighting for months now, really for years now, with this salon and the owners. And I really, really hate that Kenya stopped paying the rent because, y'all, I have footage right now showing that they are literally placing her on the curb right now. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, like, you're going out sad, sis. You're going out so sad. And, you know, I can't even laugh at this.
I'll do it for you. Now, some waste of a life bitch on YouTube said some of y'all like seeing black women be taken down, do better. Well, some black women, like Kenya Moore, like Thirsty Toxicity, and others, deserve to be taken down, just like R. Kelly and P. did. Do I need to throw in Tasha K, Malaga Grams? See, if you do wrong, you do wrong. That doesn't mean that you want all black women to fail. Shut the fuck up talking that dumb shit. Let's continue. I mean, no damn sense.
This is a mess.
Mama, this is garbage.
It's Justin Diego back with another binge-worthy video, and today we have to to talk about this apparent eviction being done right now at the Kamala Harris spa location in Atlanta. Now, if you're a fan of Kenya, you know that this has been brewing for a while now. And if you're a fan of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know that a lot of this really is stemming from the situation that happened on the show that actually led to Kenya Moore being excused from the show.
I shared with her that I have been struggling. I have been struggling in the salon to get people in these seats. So I knew I paid all of that. Brittany does. There's an IT who put her email out on there. She charged $1,400 for appointment. You not only you are being you all covered the magazine, being covered the magazine. You all of those. Oh yes, okay. You got you over here on Snapchat. Your body was like Snapchat me that.
And you know, actions have consequences, and today in this video, I'm going to be very laid back. I normally like to put on a production, but y'all, this is happening right now. And even though I knew that this was coming, it's nothing like seeing the actually sitting on the curb that really makes the fire inside of you really start brewing, because this was all preventable. And I really, really hate that Kenya let it get to this point, because I feel like we really need to bring back shame. Like, we need to bring back humiliation before it becomes true.
You know what?
Humiliation.
Shady boots. Wait a minute. Y'all see this?
We need to bring back humiliation before.
I see you, Justin Diego. Shady. But no lies told, though. Stacey's a lie. She's a lie. She's a cheat, and nobody wants her. Nobody wants her no more. Let's continue.
Or it becomes true humiliation like this, because there's no reason why Kenya should not have already gotten her stuff out of this shop in the middle of the night, so that we would not have this footage right here, and her haters would not have the footage and the content that they're about to start rolling out.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, hang on, Justin Diego. I love you, bro. Hang on. I got to come on the big screen. Listen, she did what the fuck she did. See, some people stand on business, and because they stand on business, they look like a hater to other people. Sorry, it is what it is. She did what the fuck she did. Here's the consequences. You play grown games, you win grown prizes, or you win grown consequences. Moving the fuck on. Shout out to the three people here. We're talking about Kenya Moore. Let's continue on. What are we doing here?
I can't even protect you, girl. I can't protect you. But we are going to go over a little bit of what has happened. You know, Kenya has done these lives, and she's denied a lot of these allegations. But the
one live that she did was she said she was going to wait until there was like 100,000 people on Instagram Live, and she never got to that. Let's continue on.
Think about it, y'all. You cannot lie. You cannot deceive. You cannot hide the truth from coming out, especially when you are trying to cover up legal battles that have real life consequences. And this whole thing is a mess, but let's get into it.
I mean, that goes without saying. Like, good damn, just because I'm reporting on and giving my take. And by the way, the reason why I'm giving my take is because I stand on right is right, wrong is wrong. Do what you say you're going to do. If you don't have it, the best to give in terms of resources doesn't mean the best that you have doesn't mean something to somebody. I have principles. And what Kenya Moore did was fucked up, because if a man were to do that to a woman, y'all would be dragging him by his balls. Just like Milagro Graham said, I quote, if you are 18 and you now on disability, how can you be great for 10 years? Did you dial 9-1 and hesitate on the last one? That's what Milagro Graham, that cut, said about a man who went through being abused, and yet Milagro Graham's is in a lawsuit where her and Cat and the mob raped 2 men. I stand on business. That's different than being a hater. Some of y'all don't stand on business, so you look at everybody who calls you out as a hater because you hate your fucking damn self in the mirror. Let's continue on. And like I said, if that ain't for you, don't pick up that fucking bullet. Let's continue on. Child. I can't. It's the lower third graphic for me. Oh my God.
Now, before we get too deep into this tea, y'all, can we talk about how these phone bills really be testing my spirit? My final straw was when my old carrier hit me with a random $1,200 fee. And when I called to ask them about it, they were asking me to explain why they charged me. No. But let me tell you, those days are over, and I'm so happy to tell you guys why. Y'all, this video is sponsored by Mint Mobile. And I'm not even gonna lie, I got so tired of just accepting my phone bill. And when I started looking into other options, Mint Mobile caught my attention because they're doing things a little bit different. They offer premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month, which immediately has me side-eyeing my old bill like, girl, be serious.
Now, I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. But shout out to Mint Mobile, though. They've definitely been doing some great work. And the fact that you can get, mobile, service, mobile cell phone service for $15 a month is absolutely incredible. So let's continue on.
By far the best move I made managing my team. Got Connect Team and don't do schedules on spreadsheets anymore. And it worked.
Okay, so Kenya has been in this legal dispute over her Atlanta hair spa, not her actual home, y'all. The landlord at her business said that Kenya stopped paying the rent and all of these other expenses have accrued, and they went to court about it quite a few times, and the judge actually ordered that the balance be paid in full or Kenya Moore has to leave this space. Now, Kenya's side is that she intentionally withheld rent for several months because she claims that the landlord actually owes her money for renovations and a build out that she did that they agreed to let her, get reimbursed for.
Let the games begin.
So from Kenya's perspective, she's always felt like this.
Not let the games begin. May the odds ever be in your favor. Let's get back to the video. Shout out to Hunger Games. Oh my God.
This isn't her not paying the money back. It's her basically saying, I owe you, you owe me. Why the hell would I pay you another dime until I get what I deserve, or at least until I've racked up enough rent to cover the balance that y'all owe me? But that dispute and that argument did not hold up in court, with the courts actually moving forward with this eviction.
Hello, everyone. This is Prince Michael with the news you can use. I am reporting from Chamberlain, Georgia. And as you can see, unfortunately, Kenya Moore Hair Care, Kenya Moore, a former...
Let me tell you something. The crispness of this live reporting is top tier energy, okay? Not energy, energy.
Of Atlanta is actually being evicted, unfortunately. This is huge and horrible news.
So what we are seeing right now is Kenya's stuff being put outside on the curb. I don't know how that works. I don't know if her fans are free to grab, some Kenya Moore exclusive stuff.
That actually means a lot to me.
I know Kenya went live a couple of times saying that she was doing some sort of a
sale
giveaway and some sort of a sale. And then she was out the country, reportedly filming a show. So I don't really know what her theory is or what her goal was with this. It seems like Kenya, and I hate to say this, but I feel like it seems like she has a humiliation kink.
I think we should end the conversation here because let's just end it here. Yeah,
because girl, there is no way in hell after that stunt that I pulled and I already got
He said humiliation cake. By the way, that means you like being degraded, this, that, and the third. I'm like, child, as she says, she's the most beautiful woman in the world. I present to you Jill Scott Lee, Jill Lee, Miss Lady, you're nasty. You put Kenya Moore in a circle, you put Jill Scott in a circle, everybody go over to Jill Scott before Kenya Moore. Let's continue on.
Got drug off Bravo in the middle of the damn season. There's no way that you guys would get this out of me too, all within the same 2 years.
Kenya Moore put over $300,000 into this facility, and unfortunately, it has came to
It's a nice venue. I will say that's a good location.
Beautiful pieces over here as well. Oh, I would love that. This is sad news. Kenya Moore was one of my favorite housewives of Atlanta, and unfortunately, it came down today.
Girl, I don't know, Kenya. I just thought you were just this iconic, intelligent, smart woman, and I'm sure you still are, but this is looking a mess. And like I said, y'all, this feels 100% preventable, and that's where my irritation comes in at. So I will be following this story. I know my friend Michelle from Straight From the A is already on her way to the scene. I'm sure she'll be going live soon with more details. And I'm sure that a lot of other Atlanta-based content creators will be giving you guys more of this story. And you know I'm going to be keeping my ear to the streets and making sure that anything that's binge-worthy gets reported the way that it should be.
Are you serious? Thank you.
And y'all know I could not get out of here without sharing some of what the fans had to say about such a binge-worthy story like this, with some Housewives fans completely devastated, talking about, no, Kenya, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, with the heartbreaking emojis, before another fan responded saying, oh my God, it feels like all the Real Housewives girls are going through it financially. The girls really do be depending on them Real Housewives checks for real. And God, I ask that whatever rough times people are going through, you get them through it. Amen. Before another Housewives fan responded saying they probably led her to think that there would be a resolve just so that she couldn't move her stuff into storage or do a liquidation sale. Then proceeded to throw her mess on the side of the street, ... to try to further embarrass her.
Philip Network, I have to disagree. Listen, she had a chance to pay her rent, and she also could have done the right thing and just not done what she did. Nobody's trying to humiliate her. She humiliated her damn self. Continuing on.
And I have to just say, y'all, that actually wasn't true. Kenya herself was supposed to do these sales, but she ultimately decided not to do them as far as I know. And then here goes another fan doing too much talking about, let me tell my bitches to go grab me some Hold on. And if she does come back next season, she better be as quiet as a church mouse, because this is embarrassing. Before Team Twirl kept it real, talking about Team Twirl, we down so bad right now with the sad emoji
no one gives
and
a
the
fuck.
heartbroken emoji. Before another fan said, oh no, exclamation point. I wish she got her stuff. I don't agree with everything Kenya does, but
You
my
know
heart
what?
breaks for a black
Janetta
woman.
Maxima P. MPA, congratulations to you for being a Team Twirl member with a brain that works. I don't agree with everything Kenya does. Exactly right. You cannot agree with everything, but still have sympathy. Good for you. This is a good
Men going through this. That salon was her dream. And y'all, this is a mess. While I was working on this video, Britt Edie actually posted a video of herself driving through this Kenya Moore eviction situation, and she captioned her post saying, you never win when you play dirty, ... And before y'all go crazy on
Now,
the
hang on. When the wicked, even my enemies, my foes, came upon me to eat my flesh, and they stumbled and fell. Psalm 27:2. Brett Savage. Oh my God, Brett, please. Oh yeah, for your guys, get back in the ring, sis. L, I love you. Barbara's like, oh. Listen, shout out to Brett. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to Brett. Now, Shout out to her. Now, a shout to Reality by Kristen. She did a great job of talking about Portia Williams and how her perspective has changed. If you're not watching Reality by Kristen, great content creator. Let's keep going since we're talking about housewives and stuff.
On this girl in the comments, listen, I feel like if anybody is well within their rights to laugh at this situation or to drag Kenya Moore, it is Brittany Edie, considering everything that she went through and how Kenya single-handedly ruined her Real Housewives of Atlanta dream. So I don't want to hear it. I'm going to be deleting y'all comments. I'm not going to delete them, but I just feel like, be serious. But even still, this is really, really sad to me. And I cannot wait for Kenya to make some sort of a statement, because I know that everyone is looking to know, is she okay? And what happens next with Kenya Moore hair care? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I'll see you guys really, really soon on the next one.
Shout out to Binge Worthy. Kenya Moore still hasn't acknowledged this apparent eviction. I do hope that her team is loaded at U-Haul all the items that were on the curb. Shout out to the one, the only Justin Diego. Binge Worthy. Yes, indeed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to that good brother right there. Oh my God. Oh, that makes you have more show. So, listen, I know that was very sad, depressing, and that was just a negative space. So let's go to a positive space, to my hometown to my home state of Arkansas, to my hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas, that is. Former Vice President Kamala Harris made a stop at Little Rock Central High School. Former Vice President Harris made a stop at Central High School, meeting with leaders to discuss the importance of understanding history. Little Rock, Arkansas. Former Vice President Kamala Harris visited Little Rock Saturday, stopping at Little Rock Central High School ahead of delivering her first Keno address since the 2024 election. Harris toured the historic campus where the Little Rock 9 integrated the school in 1957 and met with Elizabeth Eckford, one of the 9 students. She was joined by Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr., Little Rock Superintendent, Little Rock School District Superintendent Jamel Wright, and Central High School Principal Nancy Rosu. Let's see who Nancy Rosu is, because is that the? Oh no, okay. So this is Nancy Rosu here. Okay, but it says she's retiring though. So because I didn't know who this was. Now this looked like it was a student here. She cute. She cute. All right, let's keep going. During her visit, Harris reflected on the legacy of Little Rock 9, calling them heroes, emphasizing the lasting significance of their actions, so that's part of our history and part of our present, and it will always be. America will be as strong as our willingness as the people to fight for our foundational ideals. And I know the people are strong. When I look at our young leaders, I know we're going to be okay. Harris said. Harris' visit comes ahead of her keynote address at the 2026 Fisher Shackelford dinner hosted by Arkansas Democrats. The speech marks her first major public address since the 2024 election. Her remarks at Central High focus on the importance of understanding history, the continued pursuit of equality, and the role of future generations in carrying that legacy forward. So there it is. Let's watch this video right here.
1 in 10 American adults currently has diabetes, but 1 in 5 don't even know they have it.
And former Vice President Kamala Harris made a stop in Little Rock today ahead of her keynote address at Fisher Shackelford dinner tonight. Ahead of her address, Harris visited Little Rock Central High School, a site deeply rooted in civil rights history. She was greeted by local leaders, including Mayor Frank Scott Jr., Superintendent Jamel Wright, and Central High Principal Nancy Russo. During her visit, Harris also met with Little Rock 9 member Elizabeth Eckford, calling the group heroes. Harris reflected on the courage of the students who integrated the school and the legacy they left behind.
And so that's part of our history and part of our present. And it will always be.
America will always be strong as our willingness as the people to fight for our foundational ideals. And I know the people are strong. And when I look at our young leaders, I know we're going to be okay.
Tonight, Harris is set to deliver her first keynote address since the 2024 election at the Fisher Shackford dinner at the State House Convention Center.
By the way, let me go back for it.
As the people, as history and part of our
school and the legacy they left.
First of all, I see it right here, okay? I don't know who she is, but she could be a Miss Lee, okay? By the way, I just want to say this.
And so that's part of our...
This is the thickest white girl I have ever seen in the state of Arkansas. Listen, the South is known for thickness, okay? I just wanted to point those two things out, okay? So now with that being said, let's go to the Arkansas advocate. Be serious, Brandon. This is a big deal to your damn state. All right, here we go. Arkansas advocate in first keynote since 2024 laws, Kamala Harris calls for the revival of the American dream. Former Vice President speaks to a packed ballroom at Democrats event in Little Rock. So there she is there. In a speech billed as her first keynote since her 2024 election loss, former Vice President Kamala Harris accused the 47 administration Saturday of not paying attention to Americans' cost of living concerns and called for a revival of the American dream. She addressed a packed ballroom in Little Rock. Harris remarks at the Democrat Party of Arkansas annual Fisher Shackford dinner came as the former party standard bearer molds a possible third run for president in 2020. I think after this, everybody on November 4th, go the fuck out and do it right this time. If she runs, we vote. That's it. The child, 4 years was already too damn much. 8 years, this is it. Okay. Her remarks occurred before a reported powing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, which President 47 was attending for the first time as president before he was evacuated. The president was unharmed, according to the Secret Service and posts on 47's social media accounts. While much of Harris' speech focused on criticism of her former campaign foe and his administration, she also urged Democrats to look beyond him towards a revival of the American dream, where workers could afford homes, groceries, childcare, and vacations. And, maybe some, luxuries, like a subscription to a streaming service. That's a luxury for some people. You know what I mean? Some people's luxury is being able to, get into a cigar lounge. It's level. Ow. Okay, that hurt. There's levels to this, okay? To spark an American revival, we must start with a bold agenda where our public dollars go to affordable housing and healthcare and childcare, not spent on reckless foreign wars that no one wants, Harris said. Harris portrayed a dire picture of American political, economic, and civic life, and accused the 47 administration of breaking core campaign promises to lower the cost of living in foreign wars through his tariff policies and involvement in the war in Iran. She also criticized 47's artificial intelligence policies, saying he's allowed tech companies to be in charge while AI is about to upend our workforce and economy, as well as the tax and spending cut law that passed last summer. Harris condemned Arkansas Republican-led state legislature to include over Arkansas's role as the only state not to expand Medicaid for postpartum mothers. Come on! I know Sarah Huckabee Sanders is I can't believe a black nigga is in my state now, y'all. Before y'all get mad at me, I'm sure she said that behind the scenes. I'm sure her daddy has also said that behind the scenes. Listen, nobody wanted the Huckabees at all, okay? Mike Beebe was better as governor. I'm just going to say that right now, but moving on. Okay, let's continue on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Harris both blamed national Republicans and Democrats for historically supporting policies and positions that harm working Americans, saying both had bought into the idea that stock market growth and cut social programs to support economic prosperity for all, even though working people did everything right, worked from day through the night. We saw that the economic system essentially stopped delivering for them, and over time, the American dream for many has all but turned into American myth, Harris said these broken systems contribute to economic inequality, polarization, and disenchantment with America's political and civic systems, specifically calling out social media companies for using algorithms that fuel rage. Harris said a certain collection of leaders are exploiting this epidemic of discontent and distrust for personal gain, though she said 47 was a source and symptom of the problem rather than just a source. Let's also understand there will be no term limit on the broken system that produced him, and the entrenched elite who will continue to benefit from the current status quo have an invested interest in preserving it. Harris said that a better future can be built rather if we're willing to fight for it. The better future will require more than legislation with fractures in American society needing mending. Look at that packed crowd. A key to the city. I mean, this is just incredible. Now listen, Kamala is down south. So she's with us. She like, y'all motherfuckers see all this shit I told y'all. What did I tell you, Dan? I tell you because I told you. And what did I tell you what's going to happen? Exactly what just happened. Shout out to Family Guy. Let me tell you something. If I send you that meme, that means I ain't taking your shit. And my God, really just, of course, just crazy thing is Republicans, they've been known for, essaying people and children, everything in between, but y'all want to do that. It's like, don't y'all deal with LGBTQIA plus community in the Republican Party? But child, anyway, but out of all these pictures, that's my favorite one right there. Harris' Arkansas visit, which also included a stop earlier at Little Rock Central High School, brought her to a predominantly Republican state where she lost to 47 by 30 percentage points in the 2024 presidential election. Republicans hold every statewide office, all of Arkansas's congressional seats, and a majority of both chambers and legislature. Arkansas Republicans hit out on Harris' visit to the state Republican Party, pay for a mobile billboard to drive around town, Little Rock's downtown, carrying ads slamming several donations made by Haley Strofer, Democratic nominee challenging incumbent Republican Senator Tom Cotton to Harris and former President Joe Biden's presidential campaigns. When Harris' visit was announced, Strofer said she didn't plan on attending the speech, not like you would actually be admitted to the door. Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the former press secretary for the first 47 administration, who is also now widely perceived as perceived 2028 helpful. No. She's already destroyed my state. No, we do not. No. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, take your ass home to your kids and listen to your daughter who said one day, Mama, you could be pretty. Listen to her. You never will be pretty in looks or intelligence. Do not run for the country. We've already had 8 years of hell. We don't need another 8. Jesus, we've been traumatized too much. Somebody's just got to say it. Okay. All right. Welcome Harris to Arkansas on the Facebook post earlier Saturday. Harris post cited Harris 2024 loss and criticized her radical crazy agenda. You're welcome to visit any time. Maybe while you're here, you'll see why residents of your state are fleeing the crazy failed policies of California moving to Arkansas Sandwich Road. I didn't expect anything kind to come from her, but she was kicked out of an Arkansas restaurant. Since then, that Arkansas restaurant has been moving on up to the east side, child. So, since we're talking about the government, let's talk about this. U.S. budget airlines to pitch $2.5 billion relief plan to 47 administration, Wall Street Journal. Yep. Give me a moment. Okay. Here we go. Investing.com, a group of budget airlines, including Frontier and Levo, are seeking $2.5 billion in government assistance in exchange for warrants that could convert into equity stakes. The Wall Street Journal reported on Sunday the group came up with the $2.5 billion figure by calculating just how much more they expect to spend on jet fuel this year compared to earlier forecasts. The Wall Street Journal report said, signed people familiar with the matter, the estimate assumed that jet fuel prices would average above $4 a gallon in the remainder of the year. Talks on potential economic aid package are expected to continue in the coming days, the Wall Street Journal report said. Global airlines were battered by a spike in jet fuel prices as the U.S.-Israel war on Iran disrupted global oil supplies and pushed up upstream prices. Budget airlines were viewed as especially vulnerable given their already razor-thin margins. The 47 administration was considering extending a lifeline to Spirit Airlines to help avoid liquidation. The company is in talks to receive up to $500 million in return for warrants offering a major stake in the airline. Earlier, Wall Street Journal reports said several budget airline CEOs were seen meeting top U.S. officials in Washington, D.C. last week, the Wall Street Journal reported. So there is that. Now, here's a deeper breakdown from 1 Mile at a Time. Shout out to the great site as well. In addition to investing. Here we go. Over the past week or so, there's been lots of talk about the government bailing out Spirit Airlines, which was on the brink of liquidation. If finalized, this will almost certainly give the government a 90% stake in the budget carrier. So basically, a government-owned airline. Y'all know what happened with the TSA agents and how ICE was making it do what it do at all the airports, and it was delays upon delays upon delays. And then, of course, ICE, taking people out of the TSA line and deporting them and everything. That's why this terrified me, that the government could have a 90% stake in a airline. A 90% stake in the airline. A 90% stake in the airline is crazy work. Let's continue on. There's now talk of a much broader industry bailout, which I have to imagine might just become a reality. In this post, U.S. budget airlines need more cash to cover high fuel costs. This is just an all-around terrible solution for the airlines, and bottom line, U.S. budget airlines need more cash to cover high fuel costs. Wall Street Journal reports a meeting that happened on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026, between the CEOs of some U.S. budget airlines. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who was a host on Fox News. We got a TV host as a secretary. Yay! And the Federal Aviation Administration Administrator Byron Bedford, executives from Frontier and Levo, among other airlines, are reportedly attended. So if I'm thinking of other budget airlines, I'm thinking of Southwest, even though they're trying to transform into a more premium airline. I'm thinking of JetBlue, that's in $1.3 billion worth of debt. We covered that in a live stream. And then I'm thinking about Breeze Airlines as well. So those are among other airlines I'm thinking, right, who were there, were reportedly in attendance. Under the proposal, the airlines are seeking a roughly $2.5 billion aid package, which is how much more they estimate they will spend on jet fuel this year compared to earlier forecasts, assuming jet fuel prices remain above $4 a gallon. Right? This support will likely come in the form of warrants that could convert into equity stakes in the company. Discussions are expected to continue in the coming days. It remains to be seen what comes of this proposal. This is just an all-around terrible situation for the airlines. It goes without saying that the Iran war is having massive unintended consequences for airlines. While the full service carriers are doing a surprisingly decent job raising fares, budget airlines have a hard time doing so, given that they generally go after more price-conscientious customers. I've been vocal about how I think it's a bad idea for the government to specifically and exclusively bail out Spirit. That comes down to a few points. Spirit was already on the verge of liquidation, as it's been through Chapter 11 bankruptcy twice. I have a hard time making sense of how the carrier has any realistic prospects. Even if the airline gets support, it's not clear how this would help with competition in the long run. Since 47 stated goal is just to sell the airline to another carrier, so it's not like it will preserve ultra low cost carrier competition. I don't like the idea of essentially nationalizing our aviation industry and having the government play favorites of airlines. A lot of airlines are struggling financially, so why should Spirit get support but not other airlines? Very fair points. What do I make of this proposal? I'm not sure. On one hand, we have to acknowledge that the entire low-cost and value carrier sector is in massive trouble if oil prices stay where they are. We'll see huge reductions in capacity and more liquidations if nothing is done, and that is bad for consumers. As you can see here, Southwest is number one Wall Street Journal 2025 U.S. airline rankings there. On the other hand, essentially nationalizing our airline industry doesn't make much sense to me either. These loans will convert into equity, but does the government really want equity at airlines that are continuing to lose massive amounts of money, even if oil prices eventually go down? Furthermore, as mentioned above, 47's goal seems to be to sell these airlines at a profit, but that's likely to be unsuccessful, and that also doesn't preserve capacity among value carriers, since it will almost certainly be profitable full service airlines doing deals. At the start of the pandemic, we saw airlines get $54 billion in government support via the CARES Act at a time where all airlines needed help. What's different about the situation is that airlines like Delta and United are doing fine while others are struggling. They certainly don't need support, but how do you otherwise go about doing this fairly? Folks, I'm stumped. I'm more in favor of the government giving widespread support to airlines rather than supporting a single airline in the worst situation, but the government just ends up owning all the unprofitable airlines. Well, that seems silly. Bottom line, value carriers in the United States are in crisis mode, given that they've been largely losing money for years, and a doubling of jet fuel costs is unsustainable for them. So they met with leaders in D.C. and proposed $2.5 billion of support, and that could convert into equity. On one hand, these airlines don't get support. We're about to see a lot more bankruptcies and possible liquidation. On the other hand, government basically owning the entire low-cost airline industry also doesn't strike me as a great idea. What do you make of this proposal? How do you see it playing out? Well, I will say this. I think that Spirit will go into liquidation. I pitched, first of all, there was a black man that wanted to buy Spirit Airlines and make it a black-owned airline. We redesigned the whole thing, called it Foam Airlines. You can look at that live here on the channel. The government owning an airline just doesn't seem right to me. It's just like the government when they made their own Cash App. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but yes, they did do that. It's like the government owning Walmart. It's like the government owning Toys R Us or GameStop. Like, no. There needs to, it's like there's separation of church and state. There needs to be a separation of government and commerce, right? So that's my take on that. I really don't think this is really going to go anywhere. Now, speaking of business moves, everybody, Oprah Winfrey has done something pretty big. From the Hollywood Reporter here, Oprah Winfrey moves podcast, book club, and more to Wondery. The Oprah podcast will be distributed across Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Music, Fire TV channels, and Audible. Okay, here we go. The Oprah podcast is joining Wondery. Per the deal announced Monday, the Oprah podcast will expand to 2 episodes a week starting this summer, with Wondery gaining exclusive distribution and advertising rights to the show's audio and video. The deal also includes rights to the Oprah Winfrey Show library. So you'll be able to listen to the Oprah Winfrey Show on Wondery and Audible, and also to watch it on Amazon Prime Video and the Fire TV channels, right? So, I know. And Oprah's, the deal also includes rights to the Oprah Winfrey Show library, Oprah's book club, and Oprah's favorite things, the opportunity to integrate the two further across Amazon. Starting in July, Wondery will distribute the Oprah podcast across Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Music, Fire TV channels, and Audible. The show will also continue to be available on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available. Because Amazon understands you bring them in through social, you retain them through your platforms, right? So there we go. Right here we go. Winfrey's podcast joins a roster of other shows, including New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelsey, Baby, This is Kiki Palmer, Armchair Expert, with Dax Shepard in the reimagined Wondery. After breaking up the company in August, some narrative podcasts moved to Audible amid the layouts of the narrative team. All the team responsible for Wondery's career-led video-focused podcast shows formed a new organization called Career Services with the goal of scaling audiences across Amazon. I got a feeling this is going to lead to something bigger, but let's continue here. Hosting this podcast allows me to continue the work I feel called to do, opening the door for the conversations that matter. Said Winfrey, the kind of conversations that remind us we're not alone and invite us to see ourselves and one another more clearly. Expanding our reach globally is an opportunity I embrace as we continue to connect through stories that invite new ways of seeing and hopefully deepening understanding. By the way, if you have not had that, that is good. The cheeseburger from Applebee's, that's some good stuff. Oprah Winfrey has built one of the most iconic timeless brands in the world, spanning television, publishing, and beyond, said Steve Boom, Vice President of Audio, Twitch, and Games at Amazon. Through this collaboration with Harper Entertainment, where we are bringing her voice to more people and expanding how audiences engage with Oprah in ways only Amazon can deliver. So does that mean, Alexa, play the Oprah podcast? Does that mean that's coming too? Matt Sandler, General Manager of Creative Services at Amazon, added long before the term creator existed, Oprah was building a direct and deeply personal connection with audiences across generations, and that bond continues to grow. Creators are reshaping entertainment, and Oprah continues to pave the way. We couldn't be more excited to partner with her on what's ahead. So here's my take on this. First of all, congratulations. Oprah was with Apple for a long time, but why do I have a feeling that Oprah might be a creative director at Amazon Prime Video? Now, I know what you're thinking, Bray. Really? You think she's really going to do that? Yes, I do. You don't think she won't have an Oprah tab in Amazon Prime Video? She will absolutely have an Oprah tab. They're bringing the entire 25 seasons of the Oprah Winfrey Show to Amazon Prime Video. You know how many people miss the Oprah Show? This is some huge news. And I do believe that it will lead, maybe not to being the chief creative officer of Amazon Prime Video, but she will have a creative director role or some type of creative role at Amazon without question. And then you think about Oprah's book club and favorite things. If you're a favorite things, your product goes on to Amazon. My God. Okay, so big news there. All right, here's some more big news, everybody. From the points guy, let's check this out here. You can use Hilton's honors points to book this new wine resort in Napa. Okay, so this is the lobby, I believe, here. California's wine country just got even better. Napa Valley's first ever downtown resort is open. You can book it with Hilton's honors points. Casa Mani Resort Napa Valley Curio Collection by Hilton, formerly Embassy Suites by Hilton Napa Valley, is now open with following a property-wide overhaul. First of all, I didn't know Embassy Suites had a Napa Valley hotel. I'm sad that I didn't get the chance to go because of that. Because listen, if you don't know about Embassy Suites, cook to order breakfast, 2-room suites, and wine. My Lord, but listen, I'm sure Embassy Suites will find another way to be in Napa Valley. The renovation encompassed guest rooms and suites, public spaces, dining venues, wellness facilities, and outdoor areas. And there it is right there. That's very nice. According to the press release, Casa Mana Resort Napa Valley brings a full-service resort experience to downtown Napa that includes the spa at Casa Mani, a resort-style pool and hot tub, complete with food and beverage service, and Boa Steakhouse, which pairs seasonal and locally driven dishes with, you guessed it, plenty of wine. I'm sure they have like a limited wine pass at the resort. Yay! Hopefully. There are revitalized indoor-outdoor communal spaces where guests can relax beneath the shade of a redwood tree or connect with fellow travelers around the fire pit. So there it is there. Very nice. Looks like modern cabin chic, I guess. The drinks don't stop flowing there. Casa Mani is roughly a 5-minute drive or 20-minute walk from downtown Napa. Oh my God, yeah, they're gonna get a lot of bookings. And all it has to offer, such as tasting rooms, eateries, and art galleries on the other side of the property. You find the rolling hills of Napa Valley's wine country with plenty of nearby vineyards to explore and sample. I'm sure that they have a wine tour that you can go from the hotel to all the vineyards and then come back to your hotel. I'm sure they have that. Inside, Casa Mana has been redesigned to create a soothing retreat, reflective of its surroundings with natural elements like stone, cork, teal, and walnut. The decor leans on a restrained color palette, local agriculture-inspired art pieces, and hexagonal motifs, and a nod to Napa's pollinators. And every room features luxe touches like soaking bathtubs, rain showers, robes, and slippers. Ooh, that's nice. Hey, listen, my birthday's August 10th. If anybody wants to get me like a 2-week stay there, listen, just DM me, Braylon, BRAYLON_LEE25 on Instagram. Look at that. That's amazing. That is beautiful. And of course, wine glasses on the room, ladies and gentlemen. Does the wine come with the room? Just asking for a friend. That friend is me. Curio Collection by Hilton is built around hotels that celebrate individuality and a deep sense of place. And Casa Mana Resort Napa Valley is a powerful expression of that ethos, said Thomas Brand, leader of Curio Collection by Hilton. Casa Mana Resort Napa Valley invites guests to immerse themselves in the destination, offering a stay defined by character, craftsmanship, and meaningful local connection, hallmarks of the Curio Collection experience. Despite the resort feel, Casa Mana is bookable for just $259 a night through nightly, though nightly rates can climb over $600 in the popular fall harvest season. If you visit during this time, you may prefer to redeem Hilton Honors points. Standard room rewards typically range from 80,000 to 100,000 points per night. So that's very nice. I wanted to show you all that. I saw that this morning. I'm like, that is cool. That's a look. I would stay here. Yeah, I would just tell my team, listen, if y'all don't see me, I'm here. Okay. I got me some wine bottles and I'm fine. Okay. Let's continue on, everybody, from CoreCuttersNews.com. Peacock lost over $432 million in just 3 months. Let's get to it, everybody. Comcast Corporation delivered mixed financial results for the first quarter of 2026, showcasing resilience in its content and entertainment segments while navigating persistent pressures in its traditional connectivity business. The media giant posted total revenue of $31.5 billion. Good damn, that's a lot of money. Marking a 5.3% rise from the same period a year earlier. This performance exceeds Wall Street projections and reflected significant boosts from high-profile live events, including the Winter Olympics and the NFL Super Bowl, which aired on ABC Universal Properties. These broadcasts contribute to an additional $2.2 billion in revenue, helping to offset softer results elsewhere in the portfolio. The income for the quarter fell sharply to $2.2 billion, a 35.6% decline from the prior year. Adjusted earnings per share came in at 79 cents, being analyst forecast, but down from the previous year's figure. The disparity highlighted the uneven nature of growth across Comcast divisions, where one-time event-driven gains provided a lift, even as core operations face headwinds from shifting consumer habits. The content experiences division stood out as a bright spot, with revenue climbing to 40% to $11.9 billion. Media operations, anchored by ABC Universal, surged 60% to $7.3 billion on the back of elevated advertising spending tied to major sporting events. Universal Pictures also posted solid gains, with studio revenue advancing 21% to $3.4 billion thanks to robust content licensing deals. Theme park operations expanded to 24%. $2.3 billion, benefiting from the successful launch of the Epic Universe attraction at Universal Orlando the previous May. And if you need to know what Epic Universe looks like, just a little sneak peek. Roll it.
Prepare for a journey. Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe. A new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery. An isle of fire-breathing excitement. A shadowy world of monsters and mystery. New wonders in the wizarding world. And a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
And that, my friends, is Epic Universe right there. Let's continue on. These entertainment assets continue to demonstrate their value as Comcast invests heavily into experiential offerings to diversify beyond traditional media. On the connectivity side, however, results tell a different story. Revenue in this segment dipped 2.5% to $19.9 billion amid ongoing cord-cutting trends that have eroded traditional paid television and broadband subscriber bases. The company lost 322,000 video customers during the quarter, an acceleration from the previous period, while domestic broadband subscribers declined by 65,000. Industry-wide challenges from fiber optic competitors and fixed wireless alternatives have intensified pressure, forcing Comcast to accelerate pricing adjustments and bundled service packages in an effort to retain households. Central to the earnings narrative was the performance of Peacock, NBC Universal's flagship streaming platform. The service reported operating loss of $432 million in the quarter, wider than the $215 million shortfall from a year ago, though narrower than the $552 million loss recorded in the final quarter of 2025. Despite the red ink, Peacock generated $2 billion in revenue, a substantial increase from $1.2 billion in the year ago period and $1.6 billion in the preceding quarter. Growth stemmed from higher average revenue per user and continued expansion of the paid subscriber base. Peacock ended March with 46 million subscribers, up from 44 million at the close of 2025 and 41 million a year earlier. The addition of NBA basketball coverage in the Winter Olympics played a key role in attracting new users and encouraging existing ones to upgrade their plans. Executives said more confidence that the second quarter will represent a pivotal turning point, with the platform poised to move meaningfully closer to break even as subscriber momentum and pricing power converge. In parallel with these operational updates, Comcast completed the spinoff of the majority of its cable networks into a new entity called Versant Media Group. I told y'all about that. All the cable networks spun off into that group, but Bravo stayed with NBC Universal. The move, led by industry veteran Mark Lazarus as chief executive, aims to sharpen focus on core streaming and studio businesses while streamlining legacy linear television assets. The company leadership has adopted a measured stance on large-scale acquisitions, emphasizing organic expansion and customer-centric innovation. Instead, this strategy comes as the broader media landscape grapples with fragmented audiences and rising content costs. Broader economic factors also loomed in the background. Potential disruptions from geopolitical tensions, including the ongoing conflict involving the United States and Israel with Iran, could influence theme park attendance, though higher travel expenses such as fuel and air fees. Nevertheless, the company's diversified portfolio appears positioned to weather these variables, with entertainment streaming segments increasingly driving future value. While legacy cable and broadband businesses face structural decline, investments in premium content, live sports, and theme park expansions are yielding tangible returns. Peacock subscriber gains and revenue trajectory suggest that the streaming services are on a path towards sustainable profitability, even if near-term losses persist as consumers continue migrating to on-demand ad models, which, by the way, Peacock was a free service if you had a cable subscription, but you had to wait a week for some NBC shows to drop. But I think bringing that back would be a good thing for NBC Universal. The company's ability to integrate major events into digital offerings will likely prove decisive and maintain competitive edge against rival platforms. So what do I think about this? I think they'll be okay. at Peacock. I think what they probably need to do is do a round 2 of the and I'll say this. What NBC Universal did for the launch of Scripted Accelerate with 5 content creators got a $20,000 deal. I think that there needs to be the Versant Media Group Content Creator Squad search, where you take 10 men, 10 women, and they compete in challenges, and the 5 best men, the 5 best women win a 3-year deal with Versant to help make content for the whole company. I think if you do that every season, like HGTV Design Star and the next Food Network Star, I think they'll be fine. If every network did that, they would have nothing but new shows and content all the time. But hey, that's just my opinion. Okay. Finally, everybody, this last destination here, Forecast News once again. Netflix has reportedly undermined Paramount's merger with Warner Bros. Discovery. Here we go. So, Hollywood insiders and executives at Paramount Global are growing increasingly suspicious that Netflix is playing a behind-the-scenes role in efforts to prevent the proposed combination of Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Global, a deal commonly referred to in industry circles as Warner Mount, according to a report from Puck News. Mount me. Child, blasphemous AC, that piece of shit bastard, what he did to Dr. Girlfriend was sick, disgusting, and tiring. The fact that he cannot be man enough to say, listen, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here to support. Do you need a therapist? What do you need from me? That would have been better to take some responsibility. But instead, you go cheat on with all these other women, right? Child, I just can't. But Warner Mount is just crazy work. But let's keep going. According to a report from Puck News, the streaming giant, led by co-chief executive Ted Sarantos, has faced accusations of quietly supporting campaigns aimed at blocking the merger and potentially reach out to regulatory authorities to voice concerns about the transaction. Well, there's over 4,000 signatures, right? Not one of the merger go through. Not to mention, let's not forget that Live Nation Ticketmaster verge of they were a big illegal monopoly, right? So it still got to go through the government. I think the government's even hesitant of approving this, right? These allegations come amid a broader push within parts of the entertainment industry to halt further consolidation among traditional media companies. Netflix has firmly denied any involvement in attempting to influence regulatory review or public discourse around the potential merger. The suspicions arise against the backdrop of Netflix's earlier impressions of interest in acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery. During those previous discussions, Paramount Global has raised strong projections, contending that such a move will further solidify Netflix's lead position in the video streaming market. That's because nobody watches Paramount Plus like that. They got some hits here and there, but it's not really talked about in culture like Netflix is, and Disney Plus is, and HBO Max is. Okay, so let's just be honest, okay, about some things. All right, moving on. Company representatives at the time had argued that regulatory bodies were unlikely to be able to accept arguments, expand the definition of the streaming market to include platforms such as YouTube and TikTok, positions that serious enforcers would reject. Recent developments in antitrust have added fuel to the fire and appear to have strengthened the position of states' attorneys general, are expected to scrutinize large media deals more closely. In one notable case, the federal jury determined that Live Nation Entertainment as Ticketmaster subsidiary had functioned as a legal monopoly, highlighting concerns over market dominance in the live entertainment sector. Separately, a federal judge in California blocked the proposed merger between Nexstar Media Group and Techna Incorporated, siding with arguments from states that would diminish competition in local television markets. These rulings have created a more aggressive environment for regulatory challenges, with observers knowing that states attorneys general now feel more emboldened to take on high-profile media consolidations, meaning the industry believe it is probable that the Warner Mount proposal will face significant pushback from these officials. The proposal, the potential merger between Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Global represents a significant attempt by two legacy entertainment powerhouses to combine their substantial content libraries, industrial capabilities, and distribution networks in response to the intense competitive pressures from streaming services. Proponents argue that such a union could create a more formidable competitor capable of challenging the dominance of pure-play streaming leaders. Critics, however, warned that it would reduce competition and lead to higher costs for consumers while limiting creative diversity. As the regulatory landscape continues to evolve, the fate of The Warner Mount deal remains a concern. The growing momentum behind opposite efforts, whether organically driven or influenced by external parties, underscores the high stakes involved in the ongoing transformation of the media and entertainment industry. Major players jockeying for position in an increasingly fragmented market. Any large-scale merger faces heightened scrutiny not only from federal authorities but also from state-level enforcers focused on preserving local and national competition. This environment of heightened anti-trust vigilance could reshape the future of media mergers, potentially forcing companies to seek alternative strategies for growth beyond large-scale combinations. The Warner Mount transaction, valued in the tens of billions of dollars, would reshape the competitive dynamics across film, television, and streaming platforms if approved. It comes at a time when traditional media companies are struggling to adapt to shifting viewer habits, rising production costs, and the overwhelming scale of digital-first competitors. Paramount Global, through its partnership with Skydance Media and support from the Ellison family interests, have outmaneuvered Netflix in the bidding process for Warner Bros. Discovery earlier in the year. I wouldn't say that really. I feel like David Ellison and Larry Ellison basically tried to rape Warner Bros. Discovery and then allow them to just go with Netflix. It's like, no, you will come over here. You will lay down. You will take this shit. That's pretty much Larry Ellison, David Ellison's, mindset of raping, what they want to get what they need. It's sad to say that. I don't say that lightly, of course, but that's pretty much what it was. I mean, it was so aggressive, y'all. They were talking to shareholders. They were talking to, staff recruiters. They were talking to anybody, everybody. They were trying to put out false narratives of Netflix. I mean, just, my God. And now that company, that combined company of Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Skydance now has a combined debt of $90 billion. You tell me one company that works out with $90 billion in debt to your company's name. I don't know of one of them. I just don't. The winning offer encompassed the full scope of the target company, including its cable operations, with Netflix and previously sought to separate from the studio streaming assets that earlier built by Netflix had centered a more target acquisition strategy, but the eventual Paramount-led approach required a comprehensive takeover that escalated the financial strategic commitments on all sides. Opposition campaigns, including open letters and public statements from various Hollywood figures, have gained traction in recent months. These efforts emphasize risks to creative independence, potential job losses and overlapping divisions, and broader implications for content diversity. Supporters of the merger counter that the combined entity will be better positioned to invest in high-quality programming and be globally without the same level of financial strain currently facing standalone players. Y'all just mentioned the company of Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Skydance now has combined debt $90 billion. That is financial strain, ladies and gentlemen. They're at $1 trillion of debt. Okay. My God. State-level regulators are particularly attuned to local impacts, such as effects on regional news coverage, employment, and production hubs like Los Angeles and New York. The involvement of multiple attorney generals could prolong the review process and introduce additional conditions for concessions or any approval is granted federal authorities, meanwhile continue their own evaluations under established antitrust frameworks, though the recent court precedents suggest a tougher stance overall. For Netflix, any successful effort to complicate or derail the deal could preserve its current market advantages by preventing the formation of a stronger rival with deep content reserves and establish theatrical distribution channels. The company has invested heavily in original programming, global expansion, and maintaining its edge remains a core priority. Yet the denials of mailing underscore the delicate balance media giants must strike in public and private dealings to avoid drawing further regulatory attention themselves. As shareholders of both Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount prepare for the upcoming votes, which they did vote for this to go through, the dumbasses that they are. And the parties navigating the regulatory maze, the narrative around external influences add another layer of complexity, whether these suspicions prove grounded or amount to little more than industry speculation. They illustrate the cutthroat nature of modern media deal making. The outcome will likely influence not only the immediate comprehensive landscape, but also set precedents for future consolidation attempts. An industry undergoing rapid evolution driven by technology and consumer preferences. Observers expect the upcoming months to bring clearer signals on regulatory intentions, potentially undermine whether Warner Mount advances or joins a growing list of block or abandoned mega mergers. I'm hoping to God that Warner Mount doesn't go through because, come on, y'all. Paramount, they used to own theme parks, right? I think it was Carowinds and Kings Island were Paramount parks, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Paramount is building a park overseas. I believe in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said before, with Netflix, there's more synergy there, right? They have the Netflix houses, they have Netflix bites. So imagine the Warner Brother catalog going into Netflix bites restaurants across the country, into Netflix houses across the country. And like I said before, Netflix can partner up with Six Flags to help some of their rides get updated. And then, not to mention too, because they will own the Looney Tunes franchise, they could boost up Looney Tunes as well. Yeah, so Six Flags could have Netflix intellectual properties and Warner Bros. Discovery properties in Six Flags parks across the country. So now you have Disney, you have Universal, you got Six Flags, and then Warner Brothers. They could make their regional entertainment division with Warner Brothers World, Orlando at the parks, and also the Looney chain, the idea of the Looney Cave, the Looney Pizza, and Looney River Country. So go back to that live with the Coyote versus Acme. And of course, the live that I did, that I said Netflix is not a streaming company, it's now an entertainment company. Y'all, we did that 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 4 seconds. I'm going to turn on my camera now because we done the whole show for over 3 hours. Yes, we have. Woo, child. Believe me, I know. That was a lot of info today. And I know that doing that first hour was quite a lot, but y'all need to know. Y'all need to know everything that was going on there with that. Because, like I said, it's the 4th time, right? What the hell? Sorry, y'all. But anyway, like I said before, after 4 times of being taken out at that point, just step down as president. Like, is it really worth you trying to prove to everybody that, they were wrong and you were right? Is it really worth your life at that point? But hey, that's just my opinion. I just drink my water, mind my black-owned business, and go on tour of all of y'all. That's all I do. I don't do nothing else. Well, actually, I do a lot of the stuff, but let's see the other. So, but anyway, yes, indeed here. Let me see if I can find a positive news story for you all, and then we will head on out of here. I know it's been a huge show, so yeah, we're just gonna get on out here. But I enjoyed spending time with y'all today. I really did, as I often do. Believe me, it was a lot today. I know. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay, so here's something good here. Let's look at this here. So track star Allison Felix announces comeback, aiming for 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. The most decorated female Olympic track and field athlete revealed to Time that she's planning a comeback with her sights set on the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, which will take place in her home city. Allison has long been involved in the LA 28 movement and previously helped with the city's Olympic bid, said competing in front of a home crowd is a major motivation. She announced her retirement from the track following the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, where she won a relay gold and 400-meter bronze. Speaking on those who may criticize her return, said, I totally get the person sticks around too long. Like, what are you doing? What are they doing, rather? No, I'm for it. I'm not at my peak. I have no illusions about that. I'm very clear in what it is and what I want to see. I hope it seemed that way. Allison continued to know that however things turn out, she will be in attendance at the upcoming Olympic Games cheering on compares. She added, I probably wouldn't be upset at myself if I did. Give it a try. She's an amazing athlete. If this is true, I'll support it. I'm going to skip that comment because that was a dumbass comment. Like, come on, how have you not heard of this woman? Favorite person watching the Olympics. Let's go, Allison. Listen, if the president can be 79 years old and a dumbass, this woman could come back for the Olympics, okay? That is it for me. I'll see you guys a little bit later on tonight for Roa. We'll review it live right here on the YouTube channel. One love, much love, all love. I feel love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life. Oh, maybe we should get in the van. In this world, we don't. I got a. Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life. Oh, maybe we should get in the van. In this world, we don't get to control much. Past, male pattern baldness.
Leggies.
Got one right now. The urge to pop that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.